What in the world is going on?
I know. Are we live yet?
Are we live?
No, we're not live.
No.
We can just chat amongst ourselves, guys.
Well,
Get it down, I'll hit it again, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody here that's tuned in for tonight's episode missed out on a good 45 minutes of pre-game conversation, and I think we're too pooped to do a show. So
thanks for
I'm
being
good.
here. We'll see.
Thanks for
y'all
being
next
here,
month.
everybody.
I know. I was going to say, you guys going to keep me here for 2 hours? Do I have to be here for the whole 2 hours?
We have to pay Bobby now. So we haven't told anybody yet, but we pay Bobby now to make appearances, and every minute counts.
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly.
On the clock.
I've been on the clock since we were talking pregame, so.
See, he's already bragging too. So everybody, welcome to our We Ask You Frenzied episode. Really, we're here to have a conversation with everybody that tunes into this show. I know we do these shows; they're few and far between now, but man, when we do them, we're really excited to chat mainly with the folks that tune in and watch it. I wouldn't you guys say that that's true? Like to talk to each other and to see what who's chiming into the chat. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. It also can let them ask us what we're doing and what our future plans are as well. I believe.
Yeah.
So there's a little snips there you guys can think about.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, you know what? So, folks, if you've been holding on to questions for tonight's episode, be sure to put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to star them so we can return to them. But also, you can message us via the Frenzied Instagram message platform. For those of you that are Patreons, but if not, and if you're friends with me on Instagram, I'll be checking periodically tonight. If you send a message there, I won't be checking elsewhere. So just Instagram if possible. But the chat's available. This is live. This is fun. Yeah. Think about your questions for us and post them in there. But really, how are you guys doing? I feel like it's been a while.
Good. And yourself?
Tisk. I'm good. I'm good. I'm exhausted. But I'm good. Yeah. But really, when you do that, Bobby, it makes people want to know more. So now we're gonna put the ball back in your court. Okay. I'm good. You?
I'm feeling a little weird tonight. A little hyper, I guess you can say. I don't know. Hyper. Maybe because we don't do this that often anymore. So it's been I've been in my head a lot, but now I'm like I'm smoothing out. So
feeling a little cheeky, Mike.
Yeah.
Feeling a little cheeky.
So I'm doing well. I'm doing well. The weather's starting to cool off too. I think that helps.
Oh, yes. It helps. If you're feeling excitable, it might just be the weather because I tell you, at the end of every summer, I get super depressed. Just being super honest with you all. Like I start to feel low self-esteem. I start to feel like what am I doing? I considered selling all my toys. You have all these feelings that for some reason at the end of the summer, and I think it's because we're exhausted.
Yeah, it's different in the West compared to the rest of the country. I felt like that during the wintertime when I lived in Chicago. After a while, you feel so locked in, you want to just bust out. But that's how it is here in the West Coast. Even though it's a shorter amount of time that you're locked in, it's still the heat just drains you when you try to sleep.
The heat is draining. Here in the Central Valley of California, it sounds like, California is this paradise. Well, there are parts of California that are just brutal in the summer, and I happen to live in one of them, and we're happy to finally be through it a little bit.
Yeah, it's September, almost end of September now, so.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's the crazy part. I feel like September just began, and because of my job, I'm scheduling out dates, and I'm like looking at availabilities, and it's like all through October, and I'm like, oh man, we're almost out of September already, and that's insane.
Yeah, that's really weird, right? That's
It's been a month since we've had our last show, and it feels like yesterday.
Or like 7 yesterdays ago.
Ew. 7 yesterdays. That's a week.
Adam, Oz, how you guys doing?
Man, I had like a migraine in the middle of the night, so I was like up, like trying to kill that. So I was a little loopy and kind of groggy, a little bit off. I'm coming out of it. I'm feeling better now, but
That's good.
Yeah, migraines are awful.
Glad to hear that, man. I'm doing all right. You know, it's like
we don't care.
Oh, okay. Yes,
I was just kidding.
Let's do this.
Yeah. No, like you guys were saying, a lot of people do go into like seasonal depression going into like the fall and winter months and everything like that. For me, it's the opposite. See, I get that going into spring and summer because I can't stand the heat.
Mm-hmm.
But when things start cooling off like this and it starts getting cold, I'm like, yes, I can finally like walk around and not just be sweating constantly.
Right.
So
fall time is the best.
Hands down.
Fall. Yeah.
Fall. I mean, listen, I even bought a Christmas ornament to this last weekend to celebrate the season.
Nice.
The hitchhiking ghosts. I love fall. I love my creeps, and I love fall. Fall in this house is like we start decorating right when my birthday hits on September 11th. After that, we start decorating for Halloween, and so yeah.
You wear that around your ear, don't you?
I do. I actually wore this to work today. Wait, I gotta acknowledge Eric here. I'm glad you put this up, Oz. You read my mind. BS Skelly. I spent 2 weeks at Mill Valley, California in August and froze my butt off. Dude, Mill Valley is paradise, my friend. That's one of the issues that California has is that there are certain areas that are gorgeous all year round. I mean, go to San Diego. It's like heaven down there. And then there are certain areas like Northern California or middle upper Northern California that are just like beautiful all the time. I can drive 2.5 hours to Morro Bay or Monterey or the coastal area, and it's like 60 degrees all year round over there. Yes, you're absolutely right. In a way, it is BS to say California has torturous weather, but there are certain areas of California that are almost intolerable, and the Central Valley is one of them. Look it up. Look up Fresno heat, and you'll find a lot of good stuff.
Well, it's close to Death Valley, right?
No, but it feels like it.
But it's like in the middle there, in a way.
Yeah, Death Valley's still, it's a day drive. We could drive to Death Valley in a day.
I'm saying that's in Central California, is what I'm saying. It's not like right next to you, but
right. Yes, we could drive there and have
it's different than Southern
heat
California or Northern. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. California is weird, and I kind of love that about California.
Arizona could be like that too.
That's very true. Arizona too, for sure.
Yeah.
Oz, I've been meaning to ask you, and maybe I asked you already, but at the beginning of summer in June, y'all get a lot of fireflies out there?
Back when I was a kid, yes. Like they used to be everywhere, and it used to be like most of the summer. Like you'd go out at night, and they would just be everywhere. More recent years, up until like the last year and a half, I had not seen a single firefly for the longest time.
I've heard about this, yeah.
Just this past like 2 years, I've started to see them come back. But even then, like it doesn't seem like they're all summer long like they used to be. You used to you'd see them throughout the whole summer, every evening.
Yeah.
Now, just not as much. Although mosquitoes have increased by 1 billion.
Here too.
This is not a fair trade at all.
What about Adam? I know Chicago always had them, so
yeah, we still get them. Like early summer seems like that's when they're
like more like June.
Out.
Yeah,
June. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always like just a moderate amount, not like a ton. But,
yeah. The the few summers I've spent on the East Coast, I love that. I love the fireflies. For those of you that get to experience them on a regular basis, and when the weather gets warm, I'm so jealous. It's such a cool thing. I keep waiting for some shift in our atmospheric situation and bring fireflies over to the West Coast.
Well, one of the big things with them here in Maryland, it's marshland, which they're like known to thrive in.
Yeah.
And it's just, as they've been developing more and more of the area, there's just way less habitat for them. And so like they've really, really decreased in their population. Apparently starlings, like the European starlings, love to eat them too. And we've been having more and more of them. So
interesting. Yeah. We've been getting more starlings over here on the West Coast too, which is interesting. For more news on the weather, tune into next month's Frenzy, where that's all we talk about.
I was going to say, when I was a kid, and me and my friends, we used to catch the fireflies, and we'd hold them in our hand like this.
Oh, yeah.
And you just peek through, and you could see the light shine out of your hand. I thought that was always cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Used to get a bunch of them in a jar, and it was like having your own personal night light.
Mm-hmm.
God. You know what? We should do a Frenzy episode where Oz goes out and films himself or joins us live from a clump of fireflies.
There you go.
I will do my best. I can't make promises. But next year, coming into June, I'll take a walk out back towards like the back part of my yard, like way deep, because that's where you mostly see them, further back.
He'll just have a bunch of friends back in the forest
with lighters,
flicking their lighter.
You see all those?
Be like, oh, my little knife here. There's a little tack light.
Yeah, right.
I'll be like, twist.
There you go. Well, we have a lot to talk about tonight, and I'm excited to jump in. But let's first say hello to the folks that are in the chat.
Right. You got it. Let me see here. I think I was just making sure. All right. Just checking there. Last couple people coming in. Now, some of these that I start are also questions, so I'll try to jump over those as I run through.
That makes sense.
All right. So we've got Payne's Toy Samples. Aaron saying, stop in to say hey and leave a like. We have as soon as it wants to respond there, Duchess of Darkness here with us, coming fresh off of a premiere celebrating Prowler, who has wrote many stories for her channel. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Prowler.
Yep. Yeah, happy birthday, Prowler.
And we've got Aaron here with us saying a grown man needs to be frenzied more often than once every 4 weeks. And you know what?
That's true.
Actually, I can't put that up there without putting Adam's comment. If your frenzy lasts more than 4 hours, call a doctor.
I've heard of this happening. I've never heard, never experienced it myself. But
based on a true story.
So I said 2 hours and I'm done.
Braggart. All right. Yeah. Vine Jungle Figure Factory. Great to have you here.
Alan is here with us. What's going on, brother?
Alan is so cool.
He really is. I had that chance to meet him and his wife and everything, and the missus. They came out here, and we just had a really fun day together. I can't wait to do it again sometime. Hopefully, we'll be seeing him at Legions Con.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
8 weeks now. So
nice.
Nolan and Ray Black here in the chat, making sure that we are officially toy tubers.
It's true. We're official. We're official now.
Now we are. We've got Eric Perryman hanging with us in the chat. What's going on, Eric? Good to see you, brother. And let's see. Bud, my buddy's Customs here, is mentioning he's feeling smooth too, but for different reasons.
Oh, that's interesting.
He probably got a little toasted. Probably just
maybe.
Shaved himself.
Well, that could be it too. You never know.
There's multiple ways to interpret that. Yeah.
So we had Allison Troy dropping in. What's going on, Allison? Great to see you here. We've got Ronald Embry,
Ronald,
Black Phoenix, and K-Roll also.
All right.
I gotta slow it down because every time I put my hand up, I get tired.
You just keep
do
it up
like-
like that the whole time.
Yeah, do
work.
the parade wave,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Just pretend like you're frozen.
There you go.
So Nolan had put this up here, and I want to say this is awesome. He had gotten his Preacher, Kestrel, and one enemy infantry of the Delta 17 comic coming today.
Wow.
I'm glad to hear you are getting those toys because
That's cool, Nolan.
yeah, if you're a fan of O-ring figures like the old school G.I. Joe, those are some great toys.
Yeah.
All right, and Alpha Inflict jumping in here with us. Long time no see, brother. Glad to have you here.
All
We've got-
right. So actually, that reminds me of something, Alf. I was thinking about you. I'm gonna pull up an image here, and I'm gonna give me a second. Oz, keep going. I'm just gonna go
Sure.
quiet for a little bit here.
All right, and Cobweb Collector joining in with us as well. What is up, Cobb? Good to see you, brother. Alf actually has really started to do a lot more on his channel. If you're not subscribed, go check him out. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff.
Alf? Yeah, Alf's been busy.
He has been busy.
Yeah.
Putting in a lot of work, but I like seeing it.
Yeah. Me
And
too.
so while you're going through that, anybody get anything cool this week that they want to talk
Oh
about?
man, you gotta do that while I'm doing this. Sorry.
This way we can go around to everybody.
Okay,
and come
yeah,
back
good.
to you.
Smart.
So there you go. See,
Smart,
I had a
thank you.
plan. I had a
Yeah.
plan.
I know you always do. So
I'm known to
No.
host a show here and there. So I know,
I
Bobby, you're kind of saving yours, right?
Yeah, I got that last week, right? Last week, so it doesn't count.
Either way, we do it once a month.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
What'd you
I'll
get in the last month?
well, last month I got a lot of gas. That's what I got.
Got a lot of gas.
Eating too many ice cream sandwiches.
Went to Taco Bell one too many times. Had to go rip a grizz.
Yeah, right. No, but yeah,
what about
I'm going
you?
to save that for that because we were talking about that earlier before.
Yeah.
and we were going to mention other things too about it. But yeah, no, I didn't get anything. But could I do that GoFundMe thing real quick? Since
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Drop that shiz.
I know a few of you have already pledged money to this, but I'm just going to drop that in the chat real quick. It's a GoFundMe. It's to help a friend of mine. His wife has breast cancer, and she's dealing with that right now, and she has 3 little boys. So anything can help. Please do. If not, please spread the word of that GoFundMe. I appreciate it.
Yeah, do that, folks. Spread the word.
Right. Even
It
if you're
helps.
not able to donate money,
Right.
sharing, spreading it around really, really helps. So, share screen here. This is the GoFundMe. Make sure you get out here. Donate what you can, please. It every little bit.
Yeah, I know a few of you have already, so that was nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, cancer's awful.
It is.
And anyone that's having to go through any of that, it's like we got to do what we can to show our love to those folks and help how we can, whatever way that might be. If it's spreading the word or donating a few bucks, like do what you can for the folks around you. It's amazing how advanced we are, and yet we're still dealing with this stuff. So
Right.
think about your fellow people. Sorry, I mean, I'm jumping in and then stopping, of course, because I'm trying to do the 2 things at once here.
It's all good. It's all good. Adam, what about you? Have any recent picks?
No, I did get so I've got the Frazetta Girls Dark Wolf. There was one of the faces had like an error on it, like a paint error. So the only thing I got this week, they sent me like one of the faces to replace it, just like the little face piece, just for free. So that was my pickup.
Well, did you get the Tigra as well?
I got the
I know that was
Tigra a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I put out a video and pictures on her. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like usually I try not to collect anything that's not masters, but I've decided I'm just gonna that's gonna be my other thing is the Frazetta girls. Frazetta
I don't blame you.
figures.
It's going to be a good line. And
Yeah.
they got the Norsemen coming. We've got
Yep.
Conan coming. They've
Conan's
said that they
coming.
are going to be doing Conan. Oof, that's going to be a tough one. Hard to pass up. Like, I've got Ball and Chain from Savage Crucible. Like, that's pre-ordered. That was going to be my Conan. But now that Frazetta girls are doing a Conan, I don't know. And then also, if I remember correctly, we're getting a Conan that's going to be done by oh shoot. Well, because Frazetta's properties are split.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the Frazetta girls are doing one version of it, and then we're also going to get another version of it. But
Yeah.
again, it's not the
There's
same.
a different style.
Right. Not the same toys and all like that. Just
Is
noticing
it more of a comic kind of version, or?
Yeah. But either way, it's great that we're finally getting a lot of Conan stuff because we haven't really in more recent years.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited about it. I feel like it's like spiritually, it's it's a cousin of He-Man, or He-Man's a cousin of it. So
yeah, I've always kind of felt that way too. Matter of fact, I just seen that Boojaboo put up the parts to make Conan the Adventurer, and if you're not aware, he's a custom parts maker that you can buy parts that'll fit Masterverse, Classics, Origins, and you can buy unpainted ones, you can buy painted ones off of his Etsy store. He puts them up for short periods of times, but he just put up all the parts for Conan the Adventurer from the cartoon series, which is crazy because we've still been getting all these Snake Men from Origins, and I'm feeling like I need that Conan the Adventurer to help battle against these guys.
Oh, dang.
Origins Viper here. Well, you know what though? The funny part is like, as cool as this figure is, like this, it's all Bud's fault. Bud made me the FOMO really got to me. I couldn't hold out anymore. Bud painted his up amazingly. Like, he added some yellows in there. He basically went and he found a red Viper picture on his he found one online on Google, and then he used that color scheme to paint his Viper.
I saw that. Such great work, Bud.
So good. And wanted to say hey to Joe Gonzalez here, an amazing member of the community. What's going on, Joe?
Good to see you, Joe. So, briefly, since you brought that up, Oz, it reminded me of, have any of you been seeing what Eldor, Masterversal Toy Hunter, has been making over there?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. So he's making a snake lair, and listen, I gotta say, for just a compliment to Eldor, using found materials to build something that's structurally sound, that's amazing. Yes. Folks, you don't have to go out and buy high-end materials to make really solid play sets or action figures or whatever you want to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to spend that money. Take, he's tearing up coupon newspapers and using Mod Podge to glue them all together is what I'm assuming by looking at his process. Like, that's amazing. And he's built this incredible snake layer playset that is far superior. Sorry, gotta say, far superior to what Mattel showed us recently. So
he's doing two projects at the same time.
Yeah.
So he went and got a vintage Snake Mountain.
Yeah,
and started breaking that apart because he's making the jungle play set.
Yep.
That
so cool
was the prototype essentially that became Snake Mountain, and then he's building the snake layer alongside with it. So he's doing two full-sized, 5.5-inch scale play sets at the same time. And yes, he's going straight from that original concept art that they had up for the snake layer. He's going more for that look, and I gotta say, it's gotta happen.
Use this. Use what's around you, folks. Seriously, and just go check out what all of our Frenzied are doing on their. Oh yeah, these are incredible. We just throw these away when we pop them out of our milk cartons or soy milk or almond milk or regular milk. Like these are really cool.
Make shoulder
pieces
armor
that you can use for customizing.
And actually, one of the reasons I saved this one, I'm gonna trim off that piece right there. I'll do it right now. Actually, cut that piece, and then of course I drop everything, and I lost it. I don't know where it rolled to. In any case, like
Gone
it's got that
forever.
shape where it kind of like comes down like almost like a little crown right here. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna use that for that piece. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a crown out of it. So not even using it as shoulder fodder, just that.
Awesome.
Well, I would talk about what I got, but it's been my birthday month, so it would take too long to talk about some of the cool things. But
Skelly, flex it.
I don't want to flex too much because it's been a fun and affordable month of stuff, because most of the things that I've gotten from friends and family have been like really cool little things. And but I gotta say, if you haven't watched the video already, this Skeletor is this Battle Armor Masterverse Skeletor is really I mean, I don't know if I think the best phrase for this is majestic. Like, this is an incredible action figure. I feel like I just keep coming back to this guy.
I was thinking more metal.
There's something really. He's brutal. There's metal here. There's a little bit of Guar here. There's a little bit of vintage Battle Armor Skeletor. There's a little Danzig happening, but also like there's this kind of he's carrying himself in a way that's like. What was that?
I said he's got a pot belly.
Got a
little bit of Danzig.
He's early Danzig. Sorry, I did not clarify.
Oh, the Count Chocula shirt wearing Danzig.
Poor Danzig. Oh man. But no, seriously, like that action figure is amazing. Amazing. So when he starts showing up in Walmarts, I guess he's starting to show up. Like, be sure to go out there and grab that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, and then there's been so many. We're going to talk about them tonight, but there's been so many cool announcements. I swear, every week I'm like, I'm going to stop collecting, and then every week something really cool is announced.
You know how out of it I am with collecting now? Like you were just mentioning it. I went to Target a couple weeks ago. I had to get a couple things, and they had a whole row of new Origins figures, and they had like 7 Filmation Skeletors and Man at Arms. Yeah. I looked at them and I walked right by them. I didn't care. I swear. It's just the weirdest feeling. It's just like I'm like, okay, I got to see them.
Well, that's interesting because I mean that means your heart is in a different place. Like what happened when I saw So I pre-ordered Skeletor because I gotta have a Skeletor, but like when I saw Man at Arms in the Target on the shelf, I had a different experience. I was like, oh my God, that's the Man at Arms from the cartoon.
Right.
What an amazing,
my favorite Man at Arms too. But
yeah. I mean, so but it is you're touching on a really important thing, and that is that we got to ride the wave of what appeals to us. Just because we were interested in Masters at one point or interested in Star Wars at one point doesn't mean we are committed to that thing. You got to ride the wave of joy. Like what's the thing that you want to bring home and that you're willing to invest in? And Oz is showing off that figure, and you've picked up a couple of things that things that have come across the transom for you, and things that you've picked up for you that are different from what you were collecting at the beginning of our relationship here in the Frenzy. So that's okay. And we've got to be okay with that. If I suddenly started collecting rocks, I was joking with my my coworkers today because they know I do this and they watch it every once in a while. And I was like, in 10 years from now, I'm just gonna be doing, toy review videos of like granite rocks that I found that I brought home, because that's kind of where I'm like leaning lately, like looking at rocks and thinking that's what I want to bring home. But yeah, we got to ride that wave and ride it shamelessly.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like what I understand what Sean has been saying.
Yeah,
where he was going with he wasn't collecting Origins or anything like that, but he liked the classics, and now he's like Mondo, and now whatever he's doing now. But I get it now,
Yeah. I mean, so who was that mentioned the indie? Oh, Nolan. Sorry, Oz. Thank you. So Nolan's talking about pretty much stopped collecting from the big two. I think that means Hasbro and Mattel.
Yep.
And then it's 98% indie and small companies. And I posted in the Frenzy chat the other day, like, I'm seriously considering investing in that Laurel and Hardy 2-figure pack from that independent toy company, because who else is going to make Laurel and Hardy action figures?
Right.
And if somebody does that with Marx Brothers, dude,
see, that's what I said when I first saw those. I was like, I don't want the Laurel and Hardy, but if they came out to Marx Brothers, that would be really, really tough for me to say no.
I wouldn't. And because the company that's doing these, I stumbled across them like a year or two ago. They were doing a Kickstarter for Nancy Drew. My aunt is a huge Nancy Drew fan. And I was seriously thinking about jumping in on that. So I sat down and I talked with her about it, because the packaging they were even doing for that, they had it set up so that it looked like the old books.
Yeah.
Not like when they re-released them when they were the newer covers, the older books. And they were very, very keen on making it all very appropriate to the older fans. And I honestly, I was about ready to jump in on that, but I talked to her about it and she said, no, don't worry about it. But
yeah,
I mean, it's cool. And I'm glad that they are doing Laurel and Hardy. So I wouldn't write them off for not doing the Marx Brothers.
I'm hoping. So like, I'm part of my thinking here, guys, and everybody in the chat. It's like, with these independent toy companies, and we've had Matt Rodriguez on with Defenders of Eden, and love what he's doing, and we're all waiting on those figures. But like, these companies that we invest in, they're the ones who are going to do Marx Brothers. They're the ones who are going to do something that is a little more obscure. Like, we need to have, whether it's an independent company or that's doing a knockoff version of this, but we need a good Howard the Duck action figure. We do. We
the only problem with that is Marvel.
No, I'm telling you, knockoff. He could be
cigar
Flower
smoking
the duck or something, right?
No, cigar smoking duck. That's all you got to say.
Cigar smoking duck that looks like the original comic book version of that. Like, they
could just call it Borrowed the Duck.
Borrowed the Duck. That's good. Coward the Duck.
Coward the Duck.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah.
My perception is that these smaller toy makers, that their quality is on a higher level than stuff you're going to get from Mattel or Hasbro.
They really are.
You pay for it, but it's better quality.
So Alan's mentioning here, he says the independents just don't have the depth. I want 100+ figures.
That's true. Yeah.
4 Horsemen.
Well, except for Mythic Legions,
They are well more than 100. They had almost 100 figures in the first Kickstarter alone.
Well, they have a reputation too. So
that's the thing, right? Like they had to get established,
right?
And then now that they've been established and keep going, they're doing amazing.
Because I was thinking about this today. I was watching the thing about Mike Mignola, and I was like, man, this guy started from Marvel, and then he went on and did his own thing. And I'm like, here I am starting my own thing. Yeah. But I'm not establishing like he did. That's what I'm saying. The same thing with the 4 Horsemen. They came from somewhere and then got their own. You know, I'm more like the independent where I'm just starting out with my own stuff. And it's
well, that's why,
yeah.
And really, that's why, you know, like, let's say you decide that the Decker Northcutt files.
Well, I don't want to say about my stuff. I'm just using it as an analogy.
Well, I want to talk about your
Okay.
stuff. So,
we're going to talk about Decker Northcutt.
Yeah, we got to talk about Decker. We got to talk about old Deck. This is amazing stuff, and if that's why Kickstarter and that's why these GoFundMe's or whatever they are, that's why they're so good for these independent companies that want to get a jump on something. Somebody that wants to.
I did reach out to a guy on Instagram. I don't know if you ever saw when I share some reels or posts of the guy that does like this Dick Tracy art.
Oh yeah.
He does. It's like Dick Tracy's Rogue Gallery or something. I asked, hey, I would love to collab with you with my stuff, and he told me to email him. So,
hey, there you go.
This is how it starts, Bobby.
That's right.
And I keep telling you,
I keep losing subs on my channel, so I guess it's
folks,
not that good stuff.
This is seriously. I keep losing subs too, by the way. But this is part of it. We want Bobby to know that the journey of getting stuff out there is never, it's always going to be a challenge.
Oh, I know it is. I do it from
and it's always, I mean, honestly though, like I feel like I'm a very good friend of yours now at this point.
Oh, you are.
It's always going to be, there's always going to be heartbreak.
I know.
Always going to be heartbreak.
That. Yeah.
And I just want you to know that everybody here wants you to keep persevering.
Oh, I will.
Even though
I do. Like, yeah, my mind is different now than it was a couple months ago about everything.
Good. I mean, it's hard. I'm like ready to quit this channel at least once a month. Because I get a comment or I lose 10 subs in a day for some reason. It's like,
oh, you can't let that bother you. Mine's so small. I got such little subs that each one
it shows.
It's like 100 just left. When I lose one, it's like, what the hell am I doing?
Well, I'm telling you, it's just we can't please everybody.
No,
what we got to do is please ourselves, and that's why this company is making the Laurel and Hardy action figures. I am like, dudes, keep doing that because it makes not everybody's a fan of Laurel and Hardy. I mean, there are lots of issues when it comes to old time comedy, of course, but somebody who's going to do that, they might do a W.C. Fields, they might do Marx Brothers. They might do Abbott and Costello. They might do like all kinds of things that we just thought we would never, ever be able to have. And then you have the opportunity to do toy photography like John Emerald Knight Photos is doing just such great stuff.
Better and better.
And you can put Dick Tracy characters in with Laurel and Hardy, and like how amazing is that, right? To have the opportunity to create these worlds,
and then you throw what I was doing, and then you got your own Looney Tunes old style.
Exactly, and that's what we were doing when we were kids. You got Star Wars and Masters and Black Star and whatever you have, and you're putting it all together. Hey, that was Ace. Good to see you, Ace.
Ace is letting us know none of y'all better quit, or you'll have a lot of sad peeps missing you.
Oh, she didn't hear my intro. This is my last episode.
That's right. Oh, we didn't tell everybody. This is the last Frenzied episode.
You got to do another one after I quit. So.
Oh, that's true. We got to do another one.
We'll do the Bobby retrospective after you leave.
There'll be a slideshow, a 2.5 hour slideshow.
We will have like your face in a heart with like Celine Dion music.
Yeah.
The struggle is half of it, but the struggle also shapes and makes us in the long run. We see how it all comes together. Just keep on keeping on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The struggle is part of it. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Alf.
Yeah.
And that's Alf's touching on the punk ethos. It's like you just keep fucking going. No matter what. I'm flipping off, just a general flip off.
Totally messing with you, Ace. Yeah. Totally messing with you. The frenzy is not over. Bobby's sticking around.
I'm trapped. I can't leave. They won't.
There's no escape. Just when you try to get out, we bring you back in.
Yep.
Now we're just scheming how to get Sean back in more often.
I know.
Sean had to go through a lot of Vicks to get himself out, okay? And you know what? We're still not 100% out on Sean.
Oh,
We're getting him
Sean's
back.
never.
We're
Sean's
getting him
never
back.
out. Sean's never out. He'll be back. He'll be
We'll
back.
get him back.
We'll come back on the weenie roast special that we had.
Well, Ace, I feel like we've missed you too. Like, I know it's hard to keep up with our busy schedule of once a month, but
Well,
it is hard to know.
We're going back to once a week.
We might have to do that.
Well, now,
ready for it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
we'll have to talk about it and see.
Well,
we could do every other week.
You calmed down a lot of your projects now, haven't you, Scal?
Oh, I'm getting there. I've got it. Okay, so I have an art show coming up in October. Yep. I'm preparing for that.
Why don't you? You got that? You want to share it? You got the event.
Not that it matters. It's out in the middle of nowhere in the Central Valley of California, Porterville, which is an adorable place, by the way. But it's at I'm doing an art show out there in October. It's my paintings and a couple of sculptures, stuff that is new, and a few things that were in the last show a couple of years ago. Was that 2 years ago now?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
No, well,
almost 2 years ago.
Almost.
Because I remember when you mentioned this before, and I said I was going to be able to come out to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have any money anymore, so
that's okay. That's okay. I'm thinking about driving when I'm driving my artwork out to Porterville for the show. Am I going to have enough money for the gasoline? So I understand that. Yeah.
So, mind you, Skelly's doing another art show on a Thursday night because that's what he does. So now we almost have to have a frenzy that Thursday just because Skelly's doing.
What's the date?
I think we should probably do it. I think we should do the traditional like Skelly Thursday night walk through of the show, and we'll do that.
We'll see what Sean's doing on the 3rd. We'll bring him back.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
and then we'll just do a little fun hangout, gag around while you walk us through the art show. And
well, shit, that's a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's.
I'm thinking next month, and I'm like, we're at the end of September already.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
next Thursday, it's the Thursday after. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think that's a great idea.
And then we still got to do our Halloween show next month because we need to make sure we got to find time to get Alan and Hollywood Hunter on.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing 2 episodes in October, folks.
There,
you heard it here tonight.
We are.
You asked for it. We're giving it to you.
We are.
I like how we went from this is going to be the last frenzy to no, we're doing 2 next month.
We love to mess with people. We're the Andy Kaufman of YouTube shows.
That's how we do. That's how we.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you. I'm going to take a little bit of break from making art because it's a lot. It's exhausting, and I want to work on some other projects like starting to collect rocks. So. I think that's where I'm headed.
Alpha, the rock biter.
Rock biter. Oh my gosh, I want to make one of those. Anyways, Alpha saying Mr. Home Arcade got some cool printed vehicles from me. He's gonna do a show premiering my prints this weekend. So watch it, guys. All right, should we just take a moment and just give Alf some appreciation? When I was silent and I was trying to upload some images, thought about it on the fly, Alf. So apologies for this, but we do have some images of your
yes, I saw
your 3D printed. I'm going to find a different one here to start it off with. Oh, this is a little small, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
This is Alf has been posting images of his 3D printed attack track, and this thing is gorgeous.
It is.
Mattel, if you want to do a crowdfund, this is how people are going to get on board. Friends.
Well, they didn't vote for that.
I know, but they
had the crowdfund for that.
The fans voted for something that they thought that they wanted, and I think that fans. I honestly think that fans
voting
really
remorse.
I think they're having remorse because they were riding that wave of excitement, and I think that
I know what happened.
I know Oz knows what happens. Oz always knows what happened.
You know,
let's hear it.
Skinny.
It was the second choice for the majority of people.
I'm sure.
They were like, I want that attack track. I want the fright zone. I want the Doom Tower. And as a backup, we'll go with the Snake Lair.
And just everyone did that. Yeah.
The majority of the votes went to the Snake Lair because everybody was just like, it's the secondary one. They didn't have a priority setting on what your vote was. It was literally just, you can vote for two things. And everybody was like, okay, Snake Lair is the second option. Whereas for me, I'm one of the minority that was probably like, this is what I really want. I really want the Snake Lair. And then Fright Zone was my secondary one because I was like, I really want that. So I did grab Alf's Instagram account and we'll share here. So guys, if Mattel ain't gonna give it to us, Alf is.
Yep.
And
that looks legit. That's a great.
It looks legit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this is freaking amazing.
Yeah, he said that to me the other day, and I was looking at it,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This thing is massive,
It's fun too.
right?
Yes,
It's
I mean, you
almost like
can play with
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a play set almost.
Right.
Because it's, it's big, but it's mobile too.
Look, little video there. It's it's a working winch.
Everybody go over and follow Alf Inflict on Instagram.
And you see here in the back too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Oh, I love this new situation you got going on Oz. Previously, Oz would go online and everything he would get chopped up and then he would disappear. So this is great, Oz. I love that you have a better situation here for your internet.
Well, thank you for everybody who helped pitch in to get the new laptop when my laptop went.
Yeah.
Which clearly those were the signs. Like it was happening. You're gonna shoot the Black Wizard in the back. Which again,
this is
figure concept now come reality.
Yeah, so cool.
And I'm sorry, we can't not talk about this.
Amazing.
Well, not even just, like he printed the Hordak, but then having the Horde crawler there too is just nuts.
It's so cool.
It is.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
There it is. There we go.
Very cool.
So you got like those little Horde hover things that they would ride around on the feet here. We got the cannons, the giant Hordak face.
So how much better is that compared to since this is Filmation, better than the collector that Mattel gave us?
How much better?
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't own a collector from Mattel, but I've watched enough review videos to be able to tell you that the collector from Mattel does not have it's not the size it should be, and the quality of plastic really looks pretty cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
like a bath
too
toy.
bad because Mattel has an opportunity to give the fans these things, and they have the money to be able to give the fans these things, and they can charge more if they give us a better quality object. But fans right now, I mean, toy companies are literally competing with fans who have 3D printers that can create material and put it all together and make stuff that just is superior in quality and aesthetic.
Right. And, like depending on the kind of 3D printer you had, whether you're getting resin or whether you're using like PLA or ABS, resin, you tend not to get the print lines or the layer lines that you get with the other 3D printers. But there's a lot of ways to work around those lines too, that you can really smooth them out. You can sand down the pieces, you can fill them in. there's all kinds of ways to finish them off. So that if you're worried about those those layer lines, you can work them out.
So Dustin Crops Boy, Sugar Frosted, we had him on the show. He makes these product pals. I'm not going to take him out of the package, but this Fisher Price style, Little People style Mayor McCheese. If you can see, there are no lines. All it takes, this is 3D printed. All it takes is for the person who makes it to take a little bit of a time and get the right kind of sandpaper, the right gauge sandpaper, and give it a little bit of a sand, and then paint it up, and you've got what. And actually, I gave one of these to Mark, who's a co-host of Cambridge and Washawn with me, and he opened it up. He pulled it out of the package and opened it up, and I held it in my hands, and it feels and looks like a real Fisher Price Little People toy. Even so, you can work with those ridge lines that come from 3D printers as long as you're willing to take the time to sand it down. But then, if you're making it for yourself, you have that time. If you're making it for other people, like for Sugar Frosted, it's going to be it's going to take a lot of time to get a bunch of them ready for people who are interested. But it's the materials and the availability of this kind of creation is there for us now.
Absolutely. You make your own toys, or get a Kickstarter going and make a whole toy line,
or make them out of the things that are in your trash, because that's fucking cool too.
If you don't
do that,
if you haven't seen him, Fat Red Foo, who jumps into a lot of the chats and all like that, he's been building like this whole 1/18th scale cyberpunk kind of world, and he's just grabbing whatever he finds and
I love it,
making it into stuff. Yeah, he buys a couple things here and there, but it's mostly just whatever stuff he's got sitting around.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did we say hello to everybody in the chat? We've
had a couple of people jump in.
Yeah.
We had, of course, I did say hey to Joe Gonzalez. He's here. And Kenzo's Creations has joined us. And of course, we already called out Ace is here with us. And hello, Ace. JMac77's here with us as well. What's going on, JMac? Then I'm getting some hate for people's collecting habits. That's all right. Hate me. You can hate me because you love me.
Wait, why are you getting hate? That doesn't make sense.
My sister just mentioned she blames her collecting habits on me, and then Bud agreed.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Oz is like spurring on so many of our collecting habits. I know.
I am terrible influence. I don't know why you all hang out with me.
Well, it's because we like you.
I appreciate that.
So we didn't talk about how we were going to do this, but Adam, you actually created a bunch of cool questions. So I'm going to go through those and see. We'll go through them slowly, and maybe we can answer them, and then I have them here, and our folks in the chat can answer as well. We do want to get around to our little segments too, but we've got some questions that I think are great. Actually, you know what? We should begin. We'll go to you, Adam, next, but we're going to begin with David, Motu Origins Cork. He submitted some questions to us, and I think we should probably address these first.
There's also on your Facebook, I think Bud did some questions too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I'll pull that up.
I believe we had some in the chat as well.
Cool.
Let's start the ones in the chat.
Okay.
We'll go through these and we'll answer as much as we can. Well, and also, folks, you can answer in the chat as well your own answers to these questions. I want to see what Alf said there. I was a kid in my dioramas I'd play were trash boxes. Yeah, I mean, come on, of course.
That's how you did it.
The first 2-story play set I made was for myself with boxes. They were like discarded. My dad picked them up from behind a grocery store or some store, a refrigerator box and some other thing. These huge boxes. Love that. Making stuff. All right. All right. These are from David, Motu Origins Quirk. Pick a hero and a villain from Masters of the Universe and talk about their collections. I thought this was cool. This is a challenge. I mean, this could take the entire episode.
Yeah.
What would Ram Man collect? What would Merman collect? Merman's not going to collect seashells.
Rocks.
Right.
Ram Man collects rocks. Thank you, Oz.
I was going to say smashed beer cans.
Smashed beer cans. Yeah.
He's just the world's biggest recycler.
That's right.
Yeah. What would Skeletor collect? What would Tila collect?
Skeletor clearly has a bone collection, much similar to myself.
I think Skelly would collect statues and objects that look like him.
Yeah, totally. That's why.
Yeah.
Like I said, skeletons and stuff.
A wall
That's
of
how-
skulls.
That's how in later years he ends up with all the skeleton themes on his costume, like in New Adventures. He just puts everything he collects onto his clothing.
That's how he ends up with this outfit. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You recognize this, Adam?
I do, yes.
I totally love what Adam highly articulated saying here. He's saying Merman collects dinglehoppers and snarfblats. Little Mermaid reference.
I can see that. Yeah.
All right, I've got one. Mossman collects mold, spores, and funguses.
Oh,
I was gonna
that's
say
so
that.
good.
Oh, it's a Ghostbusters reference.
Bobby was storing that in the back of his head, wasn't he?
No, Oz was. No, I was.
Oh, Oz was.
I stole it.
I was still gonna say it, but that's okay.
Oh,
I'm glad
that's so
somebody
good.
got it, and it's great that it wasn't just me. Thank you, Adam.
That's awesome.
Joe says He-Man and Skeletor collect Mythic Legion's Motu tributes.
That's yeah. That's so funny. Ram Man collects ceramic. Oh, so that's good juxtaposition. Like the most delicate thing Ram Man collects. Yeah, Skeletor collects cursed objects. That makes sense. I like what Eric said too. Eric Perryman. Golden discs, guys. Skeletor.
He only gets golden discs. That's it.
Yeah.
Clear.
The Stinkor collects those potpourris that you hang in your closet.
No, he doesn't. He avoids them. He avoids
Not
the
in his
potpourri.
house.
Well, he's got those patchouli incense burner things.
Yeah.
That's
He's got those all around. Skeletor collects He-Man everything. He's got He-Man bed sheets.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's obsessed. I want to be He-Man.
Beastman
probably does collect that, unfortunately.
Oh man.
A little creepy, but you know what? Yeah, that's what he does. He's a little
Beastman needs therapy. He has no idea they're responsible for his luck.
Well, he's mentioning the cursed.
The cursed objects.
Yeah.
And they are responsible for his luck. That's why he can never take over Eternia.
Yep. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Otherwise, this could last forever.
Yep.
Pick one Motu character. If this character grew up on Earth as a teenager, who would be the favorite band? Who would be their favorite band / genre of music?
Spikor would totally be a punker, and he would be down in the mosh pit. Like
a Spikor would be causing problems.
Oh yeah,
arrested at every show.
I mean,
do think
he
had
a lot of piercings, but you know,
I'd like to think that Beastman likes something that he can't talk to everybody about all the time. Not
listens
everybody's
to
a
Enya.
fan of
He's
the
a big
band
fan of the
Yes.
Carpenters or something.
I think like yeah, the Carpenters or Yes or Steve Miller Band. Like Beastman loves somebody that like loves a band that's like
Nobody
he listens to it.
You can
Sorry, what?
He rocks out to Elton.
Go ahead. I was gonna say Beastman dancing the Dancing Queen.
Oh, totally.
He's a big ABBA
Beastman's
fan.
Beastman is an ABBA fan for sure. Beastman is an ABBA fan.
That's why he's got the blue eyeshadow on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is
Or a big Devo fan.
Who's a Devo fan?
Beastman with the whip.
Beastman's a Devo fan?
Yeah,
Whip it.
That
Whip
way.
it, absolutely. Although that would make him really cool, so I don't know. So
Especially if he got one of the hats.
how about? I mean, Skeletor's got to be a fan of the Misfits, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he probably thinks that.
He probably thinks it's them, right? Yeah.
He probably thinks the Fiend is based off of him. So he
Yeah,
just,
right.
and
This is about me.
mind you, then like Danzig and everybody, they're all like, that guy is a super fan.
Yeah,
They must be colorblind because they keep calling him Crimson, but I'm actually purple.
exactly.
Crimson Ghost.
Who else? Oh, Herman's Hermits. Yeah, for sure.
There
Beastman
we go.
totally loves Herman's Hermits. Why is it so much fun to think about Beastman liking bands like that?
I don't know.
because
There's
he's-
just
Beastman loves Mamas and the Papas. Like he just loves
Yeah.
Mamas and the Papas.
right.
I love
Robato's
Mamas and the
into
Papas.
techno. I think Roboto is actually the #1 fan of Daft Punk. Like,
I think
probably.
Robato's actually a huge fan of Bob Dylan. He's just afraid to talk about it.
Or the modern version of Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a dig. Did you see him? He looks like a robot when he just stands there.
I
he's
have not
90
seen
I
him.
know
I have
he's
not
I know
seen
he's
that.
90 years old. And I don't mean to make fun of him, but he's still out there performing, and they just play the music over, and he just stands there.
so I was saying,
I love that. That sounds cool.
Oh, man,
But
it's weird.
Clearly, Skeletor's guilty pleasure is Enya instead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
definitely.
And we missed this one here at the end. Joe says that Clawful has a rubber band collection.
I love
That's good. That's not bad to go.
Joe, that one wins for the night so far. Dragstore would
Motorhead.
totally be a Motorhead fan.
I can totally see that. Definitely.
He basically looks like the mascot.
Yeah, right.
Evil Lynn does not secretly love the Jonas Brothers. I do not
She's
accept
very-
that, Ace.
She's
I do
very
not
open
accept
about
that.
it because, they're the root of all evil. So.
Oh my
Clawful's
God,
into
yes.
Beach Boys.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact,
I love
Clawful
that.
and Merman, they're part of a Beach Boy cover band.
No. I've got it. Okay, so if you know about
Dan
like
and Dean.
yeah, oh, thank you, Bobby. Okay, so
Okay,
you know where I'm going. All right,
Yeah.
so Merman is a fan of Jan and Dean, and Clawful's a fan of the Beach Boys, and they're constantly butting heads.
Battle of the
You know
Surf
what?
Rock.
I think it was last year. I think it was a Jan and Dean song came on, and I swore my whole life it was the Beach Boys. And
Oh,
then
no.
Jan and Dean. I'm like,
Mm.
no shit, why I couldn't find that song every time I
Yeah,
looked at Beach Boys.
yep.
It's like the
I'm
Beach
telling
Boys
you,
sing this song, and it was
The similarities are sometimes
they're
way
really
too close.
Yeah,
Who is the mayor of Munchkinland?
We were all
Duchess?
laughing so hard. I don't know who.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
um,
They'll let us know in a minute. But yeah, so
wait, who's a
Evil
fan
Lynn-
of K-pop?
Evil Lynn secretly loves the Jonas
Evil
Brothers.
Lynn is Evil Lynn's a fan of the Plasmatics.
yes.
Evil Lynn is a fan of the Plasmatics. Evil Lynn's fandom has to be authentic and bitchin'. Like it has
Yeah.
to be great.
Black metal, she likes.
Black metal. She likes Norwegian black metal
Yeah.
and Plasmatics, and
Yeah.
that's where she lives.
And Bjork.
Frankie Valli.
And
She's a
Bjork
Bjork
too,
fan.
Oh.
yes. And authentically a fan of Bjork. Authentically a fan of Bjork. Not ironically, authentically.
Okay, so
Um,
Dragstore is saying, or
Oh.
Alf is mentioning Dragstore definitely Rat Fink stuff. And Bud's coming in with saying Kordak would be a little
Oh,
too
yeah.
into
Yeah.
me. Now I could just see, again, especially with Dragstore being one of his guys, like totally into Rob Zombie too. Like,
Hordak's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy that loves Rob Zombie's music so much that he is willing to stand behind every one of Rob Zombie's movies. That's Hordak.
Wow.
I could see him singing "Devil Man, Devil Man, Devil Man."
I could see Hordak and Dragstore going to Rob Zombie concerts together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Matter
of fact,
Dragula
would ride Dragstore to the concert.
That's right.
Jitsu would be into disco and disco dancing.
Yeah, I see that. No arguing with that. Also Fisto. Just saying.
Right. All right.
I love Ace is on the defense now. Look, guys, I'm not saying Lynn doesn't have phenomenal taste. There's just a part of her that loves the soft masculinity of the young Joneses. Ace, you are too funny, man. That is so good. I love that.
And
all right, John is here. Emerald Knight. Good to see you. Hey, tell us how it went tonight over there.
Let us know in the chat, brother.
Mega J's show.
Drop it in.
Emerald Knight, we're anxious. Oh, Fisto loves German dance music.
And Fisto's he wears lederhosen too when he does it.
Yeah. Well, Fisto's into like he's into German bands like Can and Kraftwerk. Like he's very sort of like he's very hip when it comes to German. Yeah. And he does venture into Rammstein territory as well. Fisto is a Queen fan. I could see that too.
It's a little hard not to be a Queen fan.
Well, who's not a Queen fan, honestly?
Right? Freddie Mercury. Trapjaw's into Gore all the way.
Of course. Yeah.
Trapjaw wins.
Like, that just goes without saying. He's got the best taste. So.
Yeah, he'll fit right in with Ballsack.
I've heard they had an opening. A little too soon, but.
Good one, bud. That's amazing. That makes a lot of sense. End of that conversation. All right, on to the next one.
Right, we got more questions.
Because that was a really great question, David.
Yeah, that was fun.
What is your comfort food? So he's asking us now. And which restaurant would you pick if you're showing friends around who are from abroad? Does that mean David is planning a trip to the United States to visit every one of us?
He wants to know what food he can eat.
I will tell you. I know. I
safe to eat in America with all your GMO products.
I have my answer already.
I got a couple because where I'm located.
Same thing. Part of my location as well. What do you guys think?
Well, Skelly, as you were here, unfortunately, you weren't quite close enough to my home. You were a little far away. If I were to take somebody, if they had not been around and we had time for it, I would definitely take somebody to go get some good Maryland crab cakes at either G&M or a restaurant called Pappas because they just have the best. I would definitely do that and recommend it to anybody who comes in. Go to G&M or go to Pappas. Get crab cakes. They're going to be whatever the market price is, but they're going to be worth every penny of it because they are amazing.
You mean it'll be better than what Wingstop or where do we eat?
we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Skelly drove all the way out. He comes all the way out to the East Coast of Maryland for a national chain mediocre wing.
Right, we were trying to
price too.
Overpriced. Hey, you know what though? It was fun for the company.
It was pretty cheap. Comparatively.
Wow.
It was we all ordered something pretty like reasonable on the menu, but I was you know what, it didn't matter because it was so much fun to hang out with you guys.
That's the idea. Now as far as comfort food goes, and my sister will agree with me, sausage spaghetti, because my mom just made this amazing sausage spaghetti. We were kids growing up. I got the recipe. I've made it for Carol. I taught her how to make it. But even then, I still do kind of my own thing for sure. Yeah. But sausage spaghetti is a big one for me. It's comfort food.
I made sausage spaghetti tonight for dinner.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, tomato soup and grilled cheese. That's nice.
This is a big one for these colder months coming up, man.
Yeah.
Snow day off of school. I know Skelly knows nothing about that over there in California. You get a snow day off for school and tomato soup and grilled cheese all the way. You've been outside playing in the snow all morning. You come home, you get hot chocolate, hot tomato soup, and a grilled cheese.
All right, so I gotta tell you, gotta jump in with the California weirdness. I grew up with that too. Just 45 minutes away from where I live right now, we had snow days. It's crazy. It wasn't all the time, but it happened. Anyways, had to throw that in there. California's weird, man. It's all over the place.
It's a strange place.
All right, guys. What other comfort food meals? Oh, we got hearty Midwestern tater tot casserole tonight. That sounds awesome.
Sounds like a stomach ache.
Oh, grilled cheese with strawberry compote. Anyone?
Now
that sounds amazing.
Fancy right there. Like, what kind of cheese are you using for that? Because if you're doing that
Gruyere.
strawberry compote, yeah, you got to go something like that.
Yeah. Is Skelly a Raiders fan or 49ers fan? You don't want to know the answer to this, John.
Skelly is all over the sports ball. He can't pick one team.
I will tell you, if I had to pick, it would be 49ers, but that's just like, I don't even know why. Like, I don't watch football. So that's a good question. I do think that I do have a prediction, though, that I am going to start watching football soon.
Wow.
Really?
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like something's going to happen.
Watch the Ravens. Purple baby.
Oh yeah. All right. I mean, there are a lot of, I don't know, but I feel like I would pick my team based on their logo, their mascot, and their colors.
Well, clearly
the Ravens. So therefore it may not be a California team.
Purple, black, gold, Ravens.
Yeah, all right. So Oz is already selling me on the Ravens.
Our mascots are Edgar Allan Poe. Just saying.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm jealous. So I'll just jump in real quick. There's this. I'm Armenian, and there's an Armenian restaurant in Fresno. I would take whoever's visiting here. I'd take them to AJ's on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday lunch at AJ's is the only time where you can get this particular meal, and this meal is called Monty, and it's Armenian meat dumplings in a yogurt garlic sauce. It's like a soup, but it's not a soup. It's dumplings, but they're not dumplings, and it's amazing. And you can only get it on Tuesdays at AJ's here in Fresno. So that's what I would take somebody. It's a comfort food, and it's like also phenomenal, and takes people forever to make it, and it's worth it. And Alf, that's so funny because this is so embarrassing, I'm happy to talk about this. Whenever I go to have Monty lunch with my dad, which is about twice a year, we go there and we have our Tuesday lunch. They sell a full portion Monty or a half portion Monty, and he gets such joy in his face saying, "I'll have the full Monty." He just loves to say that. So that's a very real dad joke that happens to me every once in a while when we go to get Monty. Thank you for that, Alf. All right, you guys?
Go ahead, Adam.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have a comfort food, but like we have a pretty good Thai place next to us.
There you go.
And where we used to live, there was this really good Greek restaurant we used to go to. But I'm not super picky about food, so I don't have a great answer.
Interesting.
Well, that's good. That means that if you're not picky about food, that means you can enjoy anything. So if your friend comes to town and they're like, you know what, I would love McDonald's, you'll be like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like that. And Ace, yes, I can't go too long without biscuits and gravy either. Yeah, absolutely.
Truth.
I love it.
Love them biscuits and gravy, baby.
Love it.
Never.
Always.
Never.
Always.
It's garbage.
It's the best garbage. It's the best garbage on the planet. All right, Bobby, how about you?
Ding dongs. No, I'm just kidding. Since I don't live in Chicago anymore, we have this place here in Vegas. It's called Rosati's. It's the pizza place. I'm a big pizza fan. And then there's another Chicago place not too far from where here either, and they have the Vienna beef hot dogs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a big fan of those. So yeah, Vienna beef hot dogs and pizza. Those are my comfort foods.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to
Love it.
respond. Ace talked about poutine. I had that for the first time this summer. I did not get the point of it. It's like
really,
yeah,
Cheese
fries with cheese curds and gravy. It was like
yeah, love
I don't
it.
know. It
Love
was okay. It was okay, but it was like
No.
everywhere had signs for it. It was like
I'm also the type of person that loves cheese grits. Like, not everybody likes that, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm a burger junkie as well.
Oh yeah.
It's tough.
All right,
Love a
best
good
burger, Bobby. Best burger, Bobby.
Oh my God, best burger.
Best burger of your life, not like today. Like, what's
I'll
the
tell
best
you,
burger of your life?
it's gonna sound funny, but when I lived in Louisiana for a month during Katrina, because I had to work down there for a month, and I went to Chili's and I ordered an old timer. But this old timer made there was like the best because they season it different than anywhere else I've had because it's Louisiana.
Right.
So I want to say that was the best one I think I've eaten, but I do love a good bison burger.
Yeah.
Bison
Oh
burgers
man,
are great
because it's so lean and the flavor profile is different from just beef.
Yeah.
They are the best.
They are. If I'm craving a burger and I go to a restaurant and they have a bison burger, I get the bison burger every single time. Yeah, it's more expensive too, but it's Billy Goats in Chicago. That's Elmer Night Photos. That's where they did the Saturday Night Live skit. You know, the cheeseburger. Yeah, I used to go there almost once a week when I worked downtown, about a few blocks from the United Center. They have one over there as well. There's a bunch of locations, but I've been there a bunch of times.
I love trying burgers from everywhere. Recently, they've been advertising, and I'll try like cheap burgers just to try them.
Yeah.
So
because sometimes that cheap greasy burger is just
that's where I'm going with this. Oz, like Sonic has been advertising these smashed burgers. They're smashed patties, so they're crispy on the outside.
Chicago had a place called Scoops that was the same thing. I don't know if you've had them. I had them, but they're the smash burger original, and man, those are really tasty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like tempted to try that every single day I drive by a Sonic.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I'm going to stop in there.
I'm not a big Sonic fan.
I love it when people are trying different things, and I love a good burger.
To answer Ace's question, I love the deep dish pan pizza, what they call it. Yes, I do it, but I also love a good thin pizza as well. Not the New York style. I don't like that too much, but the Chicago style flat pizza is great.
I love all pizza.
And they cut it in squares instead of the triangles.
Yeah.
Nolan here mentioning a farmer's sausage with fried pierogies. Yeah. And especially if you throw in some caramelized onions and some just freshly wilted spinach, like you just throw it in at the end and heat it up in the pan real quick just at the end. Awesome.
Nolan, you should go to Whiting, Indiana. It's on the border from Chicago. They have a pierogi fest every year, and you can get fresh pierogies from it's fantastic.
That sounds great. Road trip.
Yeah, it's fun.
There we go. Indiana, we'll go visit Carol. Hey, Ro.
All right. Let's go on to the next question because we
talking about food now.
We could talk about food all night, and I just ate dinner. I'm ready to eat.
I know. I ate White Castles, so I'm
what?
ready to,
How did you eat White Castle?
Oh man, you're stirring it up, ain't you?
Oh, the frozen ones.
Yeah.
I've never tried the frozen ones, but I swear to God, when I lived in New York for those 2.5 years, I had White Castle about once a month because I loved them.
Oh, I know.
Skelly
Loved
and Bobby
White
go to
Castle.
White Castle.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
Forget
Bobby.
Harold and Kumar. Bobby and
Yeah.
Skelly go to White Castle.
Yeah, they had them all over Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the upper,
I grew up on those. I remember going with my grandmother all the time, and she's like, "We're going to White Castles." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah. Don't you want there
The
to be?
northeast
I think
coast
about this.
is like White Castle's crazy all the way up until
Yeah.
you get to about the Midwest, and then it's like it's just that section. Once you get down to me, like once you start getting down to PA and you hit Maryland, White Castles don't exist here. And
You have a crystal out by you?
No.
Oh, no crystals.
No,
either.
man. Dude, I gotta drive like 3 or 4 hours to get to any one of those.
Oh,
Actually, it's longer to get to a White Castle. It's like 6.
wow.
Which coming from me, where like I can drive to just about anything in 20 minutes, the fact that I would have to drive 6 hours to get to that.
Right.
Well, we don't have them out here.
Yeah.
Like Bobby and I don't have White Castles out here.
They did put them in Phoenix.
They did?
There's 2 in Phoenix now. Yeah.
What?
One's in Scottsdale, and one is just built in the neighborhood I lived in. They just built it.
Dang.
They
Well,
got
maybe
these
we'll
two.
get one here.
Yeah.
If they're, I do one thing I have learned about fast food. If they're going to put a fast food restaurant in California, it's probably going to show up in the Fresno area first.
So we need a Whataburger around here.
Yeah.
We do not have Whataburgers.
Nah, I'm not
We
a big
just recently got a what's it called? Shake and Steak or Steak and Shake or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just opened up one of those downtown, and everybody goes crazy over it.
Well, the Steak and Shake is different, and they do have the Vienna beef hot dogs there too.
Yeah.
Okie dogs, absolutely. Fried bologna sandwiches, yes. All right, let's go on to the next question.
I'll have to find it, I guess. Yeah.
You look at your spice rack. Which spice is which Motu character?
Well, pepper's definitely stinkor.
You think so?
Yeah, it's black and white and makes you sneeze.
Oh, I guess that's right. That makes
go with
sense.
that.
Paprika is Beastman all the way.
Sure.
Or cayenne pepper, but I think cayenne pepper might actually be
Fennel seed is Moss Man.
fennel seed is Moss Man, or oregano.
Yeah.
This is a good question, David.
Oregano is what Moss Man smokes.
Oregano is what Stinkor is. No, it doesn't make any sense.
Skeletor is garlic.
Skeletor is garlic.
All right.
Stinkor is clawful. Is
Definitely Old Bay, baby.
Old Bay. Yeah.
And you gotta steam him. Steam
That
that
is
boy
so
up.
good. Bud is
Man's,
listen,
lemon pepper.
Bud. I gotta compliment you, my friend. You are on fire tonight.
There we go.
Yeah,
Stinkor is curry. Stinkor can definitely be curry.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Manny Faces is allspice.
Yeah, Manny Faces is allspice. Beastman should probably be cayenne. I guess that's true.
Well, I don't know. We got paprika, saffron. You know what? He's a little bit all of them mixed together because he's that awesome.
Beastman is just all the red, the red spices on your rack.
Fun fact:
Dill is actually Mossman's
flocking. Probably, why not?
I believe Joe. I believe whatever Joe says. I believe it.
Beastman is smoked paprika, so he's not even just your average paprika. He's been smoked a little.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Let's get away from food for a
I
bit.
know. I'm starting to get hungry.
I was gonna say,
I am too.
Getting low. I'm hungry. I want a cigarette.
I just finished my glass of drink, and I'm like, thirsty as hell too.
All right, here we go. Here's the last one from David. Then we'll move on to the next few questions. David is asking, imagine Evil Lynn is a therapist.
Oh God.
Who would lie down on her couch and why?
Wait, and why? I mean, because there's a
You
whole
don't
bunch of
wanna know.
different reasons I'd lay down on that couch. Not a lot of it has to do with therapy.
Evelyn is
I mean,
a
it might be
therapist. Is the first
therapeutic,
Oz. Someone put Oz in restraints.
She'd be
First
like,
sentence. Oz. Evelyn is a therapist.
right. So you'd be like, you'd lay there naked. She'd come in and say, "What?" And it's like, "Well, I thought you were a masseuse."
That's
a
the joke.
therapist.
Bobby's reverted to telling Rodney Dangerfield jokes, and Oz is freaking out. All right. Imagine
Joe
Evelyn
says
as a
it's not
therapist.
true,
Who would
don't
lie
believe
down
Joe.
on her couch and why?
Joe is clarifying. It's not true. Don't believe Joe.
Listen, Joe, just throw a bunch of false truths out there. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, go
Evelyn casting couch.
I'm gonna go Beastman for that. I just think of the episode where Skeletor kicks Beastman out for incompetence, and he's really insecure about it. So
I have a problem with that though, because that was my first thought too. Adam, was that it would be Beastman laying down on the couch because they obviously have a camaraderie of sorts, but I think Beastman would start off with that in referencing to his insecurities and stuff. But I think he would eventually confess his love for Evelyn, and maybe that wouldn't go so well. But I love that. I love the idea of Skeletor lying down on the couch, and
nobody wants to get into that.
I mean, obviously, Skeletor doesn't have boundaries, so he would just talk about himself.
But you wouldn't know what he was saying was true, though, right? Like,
yeah, you wouldn't know if it was true. I like the idea of Sorceress lying down on the couch while Evelyn is the therapist.
There you go. That would be an interesting dynamic. At the end of it, Sorceress starts wearing black eyeshadow, black lipstick, black nail polish.
So you're saying Evelyn would be an influence?
Oh, absolutely.
I think Evelyn would be a good therapist. Actually, I think
it would be Evil Seed.
She would
Evil Seed would be good.
See, during the winter he has the blues.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a good one. No, Evelyn, she would definitely be a great listener, right? She's going to listen to everything you tell her, then use it to stab you in the back later.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think her practice would last very long.
I wouldn't trust her.
No doctor-patient confidentiality.
No.
All right, we're going to move over to Facebook real quick, and I'm going to see if I can find Bud's question there. It was Bud, right?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a second here. Here we go. Four comments. My question is for Bobby from Bud.
Oh, God.
Is there anything... This is a good question.
All right.
Is there anything Motu is doing right now that has your eye, or are you content with where you are right now? Wait, where you are at now, which I guess means, are you content
within Motu?
With what you have Motu wise?
Yeah, I'm content. I didn't like the last Revelation cartoon. I didn't like, or Revolution.
You didn't like that?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I don't. Like I said, I've been out of collecting now for a while. I kind of like retired, semi-retired, but yeah, I think I'm good with what I have. I don't think nothing's really exciting me anymore like it did back when it was coming back again. I think it might be too much that came out too as well. Just got overpowered by it. But also with the Twitter stuff, and then talking about it every week, it was kind of like it was too much.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a lot. It's a lot.
But yeah, the last one I bought was that Filmation Trapjaw, which I had to have.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm content with what I got.
So if
I'm an old man now too, so it's hard to, we're stuck in our ways as well. So anything, I've been like that for a long time. Like with new stuff coming out, like even like the new Voltron cartoon that came out, I was like, oh, this would be cool. And then I watched it and I was like, it sucks. So it's just, I don't know. I think I'm just so used to the old stuff that I can't get into the new stuff so much.
I can understand that. Like, I feel like even if something appeals to me, I still go back to the vintage toys, and
Well,
that's where
yeah,
my heart is.
yeah.
All right, another question for Bobby from Bud. I know you don't like the multiverse stuff so much, but who would be your dream team up with Dick Tracy?
Oh, jeez.
So multiverse though,
right?
So
yeah.
it has to be
Something
be like Hellboy and Dick Tracy, or that would be pretty fucking cool though.
Yeah. I would like to see Dick Tracy with Moon Knight.
Oh, that would be cool.
Nice. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm a Moon Knight fan. That's the only superhero I really like. I have all his comics up until 2020.
What did you think of the show?
The show is I didn't care too much for it. It wasn't anything good. I didn't like it. But they played too much on him being mentally messed up than what he really was originally. If you go through the comics throughout the years, he started out just being three different guys, and then they turned it into a mental thing, which was good. But then they really did it too much in the TV show. But yeah, I think Moon Knight would be cool because he's a little wackier than Dick Tracy's more straight man.
Yeah.
But I think that would be all right. Either that
Nolan
or Evil
said
Ernie.
What?
Evil Ernie.
Evil Ernie, yeah. So Nolan said the Shadow and Dick Tracy, but I think you're right. They'd be too serious with one another.
Yeah, they're too similar. Yeah, plus they're both older. Yeah, one comes from one age, the other comes from a different age. You know? And of course, I wouldn't pick Batman. Like everybody says, Moon Knight's the cheaper Batman, or whatever they want to say, but that's not true.
No, they're different, totally different characters.
Yeah. Or poor man's Batman. That's what they say. It's a poor man's Batman.
It's very, very different.
Yeah, they're very different characters. And I'll tell you, Moon Knight's all on Moon Knight. Batman's all about the villains. So
that's true. That's all right. So that's good. Moon Knight and Dick Tracy. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Question for Oz from Bud. Since you like the Snake Men, rank your top 5 favorites and why. Also, designs you wish were different or changes you would make to any of them.
The Council of Trent.
That's a tough call, especially considering we just got so many new ones. I mean,
Vipor.
Lord Vipor is definitely in the top 5 now. He is just so friggin' cool.
Any figure that's based on a playset is cool by me.
I love that long neck. He's got like almost like this battle armor. He's got some BDSM chains. Like this guy's got it all.
They can't just be chains, Oz. They can't just be chains.
No. If
you know Oz.
No, I can't do that. So he's definitely in the top 5. Fangor. It's funny how many of the newer ones are like kind of like ranking up there because they've got like really unique tooling, really individual. As far as redesigns go, the 2 kind of henchmen that came out with the Diabolical Snakes 4-pack.
Yeah.
I wish they would like alternate heads, right? Like we got a lot of reuse of that Ratlore head because they used it for the Horde Trooper. And then using it for both of those 2. I wish they would have just used maybe just one other head, right? Like, because you know the big blue one, he got like the Camo Con hooded Cobra Con head. I wish maybe one of them had like the Ratlore head, and then at least give the other one another head. But yeah, Viper, Lady Slither, she's another one of those top 5 right now. Again, a lot of new sculpting. I'm glad to see Reptilax finally came out. Like that's really cool because that goes all the way back to that first mini comic. And King Hiss, like without a doubt, King Hiss has always been cool. Like the very first time I had that figure as a kid and popped them open, and here's all these snakes inside. And the new one I like as well. I think that's really great. So he's definitely at the top.
All right. And now the second part of that is also, what designs of the Snake Men do you wish you were different, or changes would you make? Are there any changes you would make to any of them?
Well, like I said, those 2 henchmen that came with the Diabolical Snakes pack, like just give them some different like variations of the heads, right? Like we were talking when they showed all those crazy looking snake men when they revealed Eternia, and that was like kind of like them giving that to us. But like both of those guys are the exact same figure with slightly different paint, and the paint, like their color schemes don't even look that great. That red and that pink are really kind of ugly looking, and the same thing, like the 2 types of green that they used for the other guy are also pretty terrible too. So you know, I wish they had done something a little bit better with that, better color schemes, and just again, like use a different head sculpt. Like, you know, variation on the head sculpt. I love what they did with the God, I can't remember their names because they're new, but that blue, you know, Cobra guy that they made for that pack. I love that.
Yeah.
They took parts for Ratlore. They gave him the hooded Cobra head. I think that was great. Even the color scheme. Well, of course, it's blue and purple. How was I not going to love that one? But, you know, like he was my favorite out of that pack. And honestly, I'm glad that I got the pack just for him alone.
Here's what I don't understand. They did a Lord Vipor is the Eternia playset snake. Why isn't there a Snake Mountain snake character?
Right.
I know there's been Snake Mountain Man that customizers have made, which are all amazing, but a Snake Man that has the snake head from the vintage playset.
Right. Yeah, and that vintage style looking
would be really cool. I'm really surprised they haven't done that yet.
That would be something that I wouldn't mind seeing. Like, you know, like you said, we got a Viper here. Why not get one of those too, right?
Yeah, and good colors too. You got green, purple, gray.
Green and
that would be awesome.
Combo.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
Alan's with me on that too, saying just why is that snakehead looking up?
Yeah,
it's pastel snake. I just don't care for him.
I'm all for pastels, but it doesn't really work that well for Snake Man for some reason.
And Ace would like to add the blue snake guy as well.
Yeah.
I want to change my answer. I'm sorry. I hate to go back.
Do it.
But
change your answer.
Forget the Moon Knight thing. Dick Tracy meets the Mask.
All right, that's good.
That would be rad. That would be rad. Serious, but kind of campy Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Over the top Mask, but brutal.
Well, the Mask comics are bloody compared.
Yeah, like I said, he's over the top,
right?
But it's blood.
Yeah, and they're both in yellow, so that would be like a clash.
Oh man, that would be
cool. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I just thought of that.
No, I like that.
Continue.
That's great, Bobby.
The question for Skelly: of all your mermen and beastmen, which rank top for design and toy feel? Also, who would win in a fight between Beastman and Merman with the forces of the Mer people and Beast tribe? So, Bud's asking, like, who would win the war between the Mer people and the Beast tribe? And I honestly don't think anyone would win. there's too many advantages on both sides that even themselves out. And that's part of the reason why I've always struggled with like, who do I like better, Beastman or Merman, is because they represent two completely different factions of nature. And that's one of the things that I love about them, is that they feel like equals, even though they're even one substantially, even though one is substantially smaller than the other. In like the 2000X versions and stuff like that. But what were you going to say, Bobby? I could see.
No, I was just saying it would be a standstill because you have the Beastmen like it'd be on the beach, so they're all standing on the beach, say, "Come on." And the mermen are like, "No, come in." And you're like,
"Yeah, exactly." Because as soon as the beach tribes hit in the water, they're screwed. As soon as the mermen come on land, they're screwed. Like, you know.
So they all just pull out a net and they all just play volleyball, and then it'll be all good.
So Clawfoot's in the middle, like,
yeah.
I can do both.
SpongeBob's over there in the corner playing "I Ripped My Pants," you know, and
I would love to see a SpongeBob Merman team up. Absolutely, would love to see that. Beastman in the first mini comic, as Alan is saying, yes, but that for some reason in toy form, that's best represented for me, in my opinion, in the version, in the frenzied gift of the version, the Mondo Beastman. And the Mondo Beastman, and what I think is the most exciting newer version of Merman, which is the Masterverse New Eternia Merman, Beastman is just going to crush Merman under his foot. So Bud's asking, like, of my Merman and Beastman, which rank top for design and toy feel? The Masterverse New Eternia Merman is a beautiful figure. I was not excited about him, and when I got him, I was just stoked. And this guy's amazing. One of my top favorite figures.
Can I just say too, like when they announced that and you were like looking at it, you were like, "Oh, that's great," and then you were kind of like, "But I'm not really impressed with it." Like I was kind of disappointed. I was like, "Man, Skelly's really been waiting for this." It
broke my heart.
He's not more excited about this, so I'm really glad that once you got him in hand, it did a 180 for you. That's fantastic, man.
But the best ones are still the two Filmation ones, the Cartoon Collection one, and the and then the Super 7 Club Grayskull one. Those are the best Mermen out there so far. The Masterverse one's like a great, like, detailed version of him. I even like him better than the Classics Merman, and I know that's going to stir the pot for a lot of people, but
their own opinion.
But you know, if I were to pick the best one, it's the vintage. Just the vintage action figure, period.
Yep.
But for Beastman, I honestly think I would be willing to let all of my Beastmen go as long as I could keep this baby right here. This Mondo Beastman is a spectacular figure. I would sneakily keep a vintage one in my pocket, so they wouldn't know that I was not giving away all of my Beastmen. But I would have.
Is you just put that. You put the vintage one in Mondo Beastman's hands.
I could put the vintage one inside Mondo Beastman.
So, you put them in the hands and then be like, "I got rid of all of mine." And then if anybody asks, be like, "Well, that's his. Are you going to take it away from him?"
That's good, Oz. That's good. Anyways, that was the question from Bud, from me.
Good question.
And good question. And so now we're going to go to, I'm checking real quick to see if I have any frenzied questions that I missed, but I don't see any right now.
Well, I was going to say,
folks, if you have a question, you can just send it directly to me. That way I don't have to sift through them.
Right. And you could drop them here in the chat as well. I know I covered the ones from earlier tonight. So we'll start going through that while you're looking at those.
Yes. And I do have Adam's questions right here. They are at the ready.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have to do them all if we run out of time or whatever. There were just some top of the mind ideas.
Yeah. Let me just pull it up here.
All right. So Alan was asking which Motu character should have their own spin-off show and what's the premise. My answer for this is it already exists. If you're not watching Jelly-Eyed Kraken and reading along with his daily posts of Merman and Stinkor reaction, you are missing out. Seriously, gotta follow.
Jelly-Eyed Kraken. It's like everything you wanted, everything that you love about like Gumby and the absurd scenarios that Gumby would find himself in is happening between reaction figure form Stinkor and reaction figure form Merman, and it's so much fun to read their adventures. I agree with you, Oz, 100%.
Brilliant, right? Like I've already got my whole spin-off show. He's been doing it for ages, and like, I mean, he's even got reoccurring themes every year at Thanksgiving. It's just it's amazing. So, Alan, if you're not already following him, go check out Jelly-Eyed Kraken because he is brilliant. It's the spin-off show I always wanted. And it's great too because they get into like the inner workings at Snake Mountain and stuff too. You know, they even incorporated the fact that Raptor, the G.I. Joe figure Raptor, was the accountant for Cobra, right? Like this crazy looking dude that dresses up like a falcon. Yeah, he was Cobra's accountant. So like they even bring that kind of thing into it too. Like took character bios as ridiculous as that, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna use it. I've got a spot that I can use that. So
it's like the best thing I can equate it to is like reading Peanuts. Like sometimes you're like, that's hilarious, and sometimes you're like, what's going on here? What is Charles Schultz trying to say today? And so that's what's happening with Jelly-Eyed Kraken. It's like it's sometimes hilarious and sometimes it gets you thinking. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, the one show that never happened that was announced a while back was Snake Mountain After Dark with the prisoners.
Whatever happened to that?
The prisoners of Snake Mountain. You know,
what happened to that?
I gave that up. It's over.
It's got to happen someday. Adam, how about you?
I think I've said this before, like a Zodak spinoff where it's kind of like the Mandalorian, except for instead of hunting bounties, he's like dealing with flare-ups wherever on Eternia. It could be other planets.
Have him as a bounty hunter.
He could be a bounty hunter. I was thinking like the neutral cosmic enforcer thing, where he's got to crack some skulls to keep things in balance. I
love that.
Whatever.
Yeah, they could do that. I bet you that would be really good too.
Yeah,
I mean, End of Revolution. Just saying, it was kind of.
I know, there. Bobby.
I didn't like it.
It's all right. Own that. I like that idea. Adam, a lot. I'd love to see that. He could be like Magnum PI of the galaxies, going around solving problems. Fisto and Man at Arms buddy cop show.
That.
Absolutely,
for sure.
I'd be down. I'd definitely be down.
For
Fisto,
sure.
Where's my cup of coffee? Oh, I'm sorry, I crushed it.
At the beginning. That's it, at the beginning of every single episode.
It's the intro.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to see a Perfect Strangers type of sitcom with Merman and the creature from the Black Lagoon, personally.
There you go.
All right. And now
Bobby,
we got.
From you? Oh, where'd Adam go?
We lost Adam for a second there.
We got him back.
Yeah. Had a
All right.
Any other ideas for spin-off? I think we all shared, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move over to one of Adam's questions. And folks in the chat, you're welcome to answer this too. Talk about your very first Motu figure or figures that you got as a kid. And I feel like I've talked a lot about that on here and stuff. I
have too.
So it'd be really interesting to hear from the folks in the,
The
chat.
chat?
Like, what was
Yeah.
what was your first
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe figure? We'll keep it simple. What was your first Masters figure, and that you got as a kid, not as an adult,
Right.
So as a kid, if you got one. So definitely add that. Put that into the chat, folks. We'll be watching. And then the next one, I like this one, Adam. What figure did you used to dislike that you now like? I have an answer for that ready to go right now.
Go for it.
I used to dislike Stratos, and now I have a deep appreciation for Stratos. And I don't know how that happened. I think it was just talking to you guys, actually. Also Zodak too. Zodak counts too. I love, but Zodak's different because I love Zodak as a kid, didn't like him as an adult, and now I love him again. But Stratos I didn't like as a kid, and now I have a deep appreciation for him. How about you guys?
You said this is all Motu, or is it any?
I just says figure, so whatever you want.
Yeah, this I didn't know if you.
Yeah, he just said
specified.
figure.
Yeah, figure.
All right. Well, just random toys that.
I don't know if I didn't like anything.
No,
really.
There's bound to have been
there wasn't really figures that I didn't like.
Right.
It doesn't have to be as a kid though. Just something you used to dislike and now you like it.
Oh yeah, I assumed the child aspect when you said these two. Yeah.
I don't know, because I generally don't get stuff that I don't like in some way or am going to like in some way. So trying to think of something that I dislike that now I like. 6-inch scale action figures. I don't know. After Star Wars, I got into Star Wars. I started to really like 3 1/4-inch scale figures.
Yeah.
And now I'm finding myself liking the 6-inch scale guys. It's just a lot harder to house them. So I guess there's that. I could say that, but.
How about you, Adam?
Mine, the one I had in mind was Laserlight Skeletor. Like, first time I saw him, would be like on the He-Man.org forums, like, what the heck is this ugly, squatty, weird-looking Skeletor? But then, like, writing like I for the blog, I covered him eventually. I was like, there's something to this. This guy's, I mean, he's ugly, but he's really kind of cool in a way. You have to, it's just kind of like turning a filter in your mind and like, there's a lot going on with this guy. He's like creepy and covered with technology and weird with cool colors.
Yeah.
I'm more like that. I'm more like that with movies or something, not toys.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
There's been movies I didn't like that now I tend to like a little bit more because I understand them a little better.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite's not one of those. Just don't like that damn movie.
Actually, Masters of the Universe for me, I hated that movie when I first saw it.
As a kid?
As a kid, I was so pissed off at that movie.
It was neat.
Yeah.
It was neat, and I was hyped, and then I was so disappointed. It took me years before I watched it again.
And then
I fell in
I
love with
appreciate it. Now I appreciate it. How about you, Bobby?
Well, the movies I would say would be the one I thought when I first saw it was boring as hell was Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh, okay.
But then I recently watched it again last year, and it's a fantastic movie.
It's an amazing movie.
I could see, especially like if you watched it when you were younger, like,
Yeah, I had a double cassette VHS tape when I bought it. Yeah.
Same director. Once Upon a Time in the West is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
A Western masterpiece.
Alpha Inflict says he didn't care for Scareglow, which is blasphemous, by the way. But now he loves him. But
I didn't care for Scareglow either because I just wasn't into it that much.
It came out when I was in high school, so I wasn't even into toys anymore.
So Alan says he just never liked Snout Spout. Apparently, still doesn't. He felt like Motu jumped the shark.
Well, they totally did. That's part of the reason why I love them.
Yeah, I love them too.
When Mattel jumps the shark, I'm fully on board. Make it weird. Go into territory that you shouldn't go into. Like
a lot of
make
people
it
feel
weird.
they jumped the shark on that snake layer, Skelly. You still ready to stand on that mountain?
Guess what though? I have to say, like, if they went through with the Snake Mountain and the snake layer and they put it out there, I know I can almost guarantee that about 20 years from now, I'll find that in the toy store and they're charging $25,000 for it or whatever, and I'll probably just envy it.
That torture room, and then underneath was the hatchery. Yeah, we know what was going on up there. That's why there's all the eggs.
Oz, it's just chains, man. It's just chains.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Oh, Nolan, I'm sorry. I love the stink right from the beginning.
Yeah, me too.
That patchouli.
Oh, loved it right from the moment.
I just like the black and white character, and it was cool looking.
Yeah.
Plain black and white with a little reuse armor. I mean, the whole figure was reuse, but
right.
They made it work. Right.
Yes. Yep.
I do kind of want to get to. Adam has the most amazing Battle Ram blog series of slides. So I think since we're getting pretty close to ending here, actually.
Yeah, I know. I can tell my ass is going numb here sitting on
let's take a break from the questions. We'll come back. We'll answer a couple more.
Well, since you did ask it real quick, hold on. I do want to jump through. I started these guys real quick. Just fans answering. First was Merman. Alan says he got He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman, and Battle Cat for Christmas.
Nice.
And I hooked him. Nolan's was Buzz Off.
That's cool.
And Eric Perryman saying Whiplash was one of his first ones, Christmas '84. Battle Armor, He-Man, Skeletor. So there you go. Got some answers on the there.
I love that. And thank you all for answering that too. It's so cool. Eric is saying Adam can vouch for this. The 87 Motu movie book, a movie took time to grow on all of us, but the recent Fall of Grayskull 2 would have been the movie we deserved as kids.
Well, go watch Fall of Grayskull 1.
So I have to ask you guys a question because it's been a busy week for me. It didn't make it through? Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's really too bad. For folks that don't know, there was an amazing crowd fund for Fall of Grayskull 2. The director's name I can't remember the director's name, but he made Fall of Grayskull 1, which you can watch on YouTube, and it's really fun. Even Castle Grayskull, man, makes an appearance, which is really awesome. And that's the director actually created that character in the Creative Character Contest for Classics. And Fall of Grayskull 2, the trailer that he made for that was epic enough to warrant a great film, but I guess it didn't make it. That's too bad. Maybe he'll do something for us.
Like a little short. Yeah.
A short, because Daniel Benedict. Thank you, Eric. Daniel Benedict. Yeah. Daniel, if you're watching this, we're fans. We're sorry that it didn't go through.
Castle Grayskull, man, brought me kind of into collecting because I saw that.
Really?
I was like on the fence about starting to collect as an adult, and I saw that online. I was like, okay, I have to own that.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets, actually. Daniel, if you're watching, one of my biggest regrets from the Classics line was not getting Castle Grayskull, man. What a cool character. And I'm sorry that the film didn't make it through to getting funded. Maybe someday. Or they should just hire you to direct the feature film. Get rid of the people that are involved. Let's make it happen. All right, so we are going to take a moment now, folks, and jump into Adam's Battle Ram report.
Welcome to another edition of the Battle Ram Report, brought to you by Adam, author of the BattleRamblog.com website, the best Motu site on the web. He'll throw you a He-Man punch and a Skeletor blast. Be ready to get some knowledge. Take it away, Adam.
Nice.
Nice. Thanks, Bobby, or recorded voiceover of Bobby. So yeah, I originally actually did something for Faker, but then all this Demo Man stuff started popping up. I was like, oh, I better do one for Demo Man instead.
Don't give away what we're doing next time.
Oh, sorry. I did one originally for Stinkor.
What? Don't give that away either.
So yeah, so just a little bit of backstory about Demo Man. I've been kind of on a bandwagon about this last several months, just because like I did this interview with Mark Taylor like in 2016. And I don't often follow too many like Facebook groups and what people chat about, but I started to notice people still well, I'll get into it. There's still some misconceptions about where he started off as. So we'll go through it.
Set them straight.
That's right. Set people straight.
So he was created by Mark Taylor. This is the original concept art for him, probably 80 or 81 thereabouts, when this was basically when He-Man was getting started. We don't know actually for sure. Mark at least didn't confirm to me that this was actually for He-Man. This was a character he designed, but it's not like it says, there's not a name on it. It doesn't say for Masters of the Universe or anything about it on the paper. It's been theorized that even he could have been created for Conan, because Mark also worked on some of the concept, doing some development artwork for Conan. I don't know why he would create a new villain for Conan though. Conan has his own villains. This isn't like a Conan from Conan per se. So it's that's something I've heard that it's a possibility, but we just don't. I don't have that information, but that's kind of the background for him a little bit. But so this artwork had been floating around the fan forums. Like somebody, Mark had shared it with a fan who had shared it, and it kind of a lot of people made assumptions. Oh, he's got a skull face. This must have been like early Skeletor. So if we go to the next slide. It was kind of a fan theory that grew legs. It made it into the Masters of the Universe Classics bios. So it's basically in the Classics line, which ran from 2008 to sort of petered out in like 2019 or so. Most of the figures came with these bios, which were kind of a mishmash of vintage material, 2000X, and stuff that was just sort of newly created, and a lot of it was kind of retconning different things together. This one, basically, the idea was they were trying to take the vintage mini comics, but somehow make that work with the 2000X origin, where Keldor, becomes Skeletor. So in that, where Keldor is wounded. Hordak steps in and somehow merges this character called Demo Man from another dimension into Keldor to save his life, but in the process that he becomes Skeletor. So it basically, conceptually, the writer of this is kind of he's thinking Demo Man. Oh, he was an early version of Skeletor, so we're just gonna we'll merge him in the story. We'll kind of do that too. We'll merge him into Skeletor, and that he's a part of Skeletor now. And then in the Demo Man bio as well on the next page, you kind of get the same thing from the other angle. So and that's certainly one way you could write Demo Man into the story. It's not like he had an existing story to him. But the only problem with that, of course, is that Demo Man doesn't have anything to do with Skeletor. He's not a Skeletor concept. He was not created for that. So if we go to the next page, the name Demo Man, according to, it is basically a play off of D-Man, which was Skeletor's early concept name, which is kind of, a pun on demon. He's D-Man. The Demo Man is that, the artwork that you can see, there's no name on it. So Demo Man wasn't this character's name. It was something whether Demo Man was an actual name for Skeletor, it may have been. It's never appeared on any artwork though. It's always just been D-Man, Demo Man, as far as I've seen. So you kind of a lot of fans, I know, when this was kind of the bio was released, they weren't too happy with his origin for Skeletor. They basically, the objection was, if Skeletor needs this, other being to become Skeletor, then is he just being possessed like by a demon? Is he not kind of intrinsically evil? So I think we can, sort of skip. This was just a screenshot from the forum. So basically, this was written by Scott Nylick, right? So he kind of if you go to the next one, you can kind of see what he writes. It's basically this assumption that Demo Man was a name for Skeletor. So it's kind of trying to bring these two things together. He didn't make the cut in the 80s, but they wanted to kind of use his name as a wink, to the fans who are into that kind of stuff. So if we go to the next one, so basically this was debunked a few years later when I interviewed Mark. I actually, before I talked to Mark, I talked to Val Staples. He didn't think it was a Skeletor concept either. He thought it was maybe, if anything, it was maybe a Beastman concept because it's kind of hairy and a little bit more bestial. So I asked both, is he an early Skeletor concept or Beastman? He said no, he's a separate character. He didn't have time to exploit him. If he was thinking about using it for Masters, I can kind of see why it wouldn't have come up at first, just because his buck doesn't follow there's an obvious way to reuse it, just because it doesn't have like the Skeletor feet or boots or the Beastman or the He-Man, so it would have to been like a new some other additional tooling. So I think probably that's why it just wasn't developed further at that time. So at the time he wasn't named, Mark did release some portfolios on his own. There were a couple of sketches portfolios. In one of them, he released this character again, and he came up with a name for it. I don't think this was any kind of original name. This is something he came up when they released this. So he called it the Merciless. This is another color option for him that Mark put together. Yeah. So a little darker. I haven't
seen this image.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Customizers, get your grays ready. When you get your Demo Man from Mattel coming up here, you can make your Merciless figures.
That's right. So, so there's not like a huge backstory to Demo Man, but just kind of looking at the classics as we anticipate the Origins version. This was the prototype that they showed at one of the conventions in 2011. You kind of see the level of detail. Always the Four Horsemen prototypes are a notch above the actual what gets produced in the
Yeah.
factory.
They're known to, do some pretty cool stuff.
They have been
Yeah.
known to do that. So, just like what we're seeing with Origins, he comes with the 2 weapons, and he comes with a Skeletor head inspired by the Alfredo Alcala depiction of Skeletor, since the idea was this was supposed to be a being who merged with Skeletor, concept Skeletor. And he even comes with the little skull Viking head that goes on. Kind of, it's more of a display piece, really, but you could use it as a head if you wanted to. It doesn't look great if you put it on a figure, but because there's no jaw.
Yeah. I love the Alcala head. So good. This classics version is so great.
Yeah, it's definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah.
We go to the next, and that's just kind of comparing the standard head, which was inspired by the cross cell art, versus the Alcala head.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Demo Man himself. So, looking at the Mattel creations, a lot of people have noticed a couple of 1 or 2 funny things about the write-up for this. So, if you go to the next page, they say, and I'm assuming the copywriter just didn't know, but he's been made as a figure before, but not by Mattel until now. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe they meant to say not by Mattel Creations, or they just didn't understand. They thought that all of Classics was Super 7, but it was just the end.
Well, how would they not
Run
know
around.
that? That's like
I don't know.
That's almost like claiming interns. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But where are the fact checkers though? Like, where are the interns' bosses?
Yeah. I think as they turn over people who work on this stuff, that's just there's some institutional knowledge that gets lost.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They're not hiring fans.
Yeah, they work on the Hot Wheels line.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was funny.
That's interesting. Good. I'm glad you caught that.
So the figure itself, I mean, I like it. I think they did an overall good job with it. The flail is new. I thought they were going to reuse the flail from like Moss Man and Pighead, but it's actually not. It's a different flail. They did reuse the sword from Fangor, I think, is where the sword comes from.
Yeah, it's Fangor's sword.
And
which is funny because they could just use the new Eternia Skeletor.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
That's the actual sword, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is the actual sword.
And I guess they would have had to retool the handle because the handle's a little big, but that would have been it.
Right. And I believe the feet are from like the new Filmation, Merman, like any of those new Filmation 3-toed characters.
Yeah, it does look like that.
So this one obviously had reuse from the Keldor and Cronus set.
It just doesn't look like it comes with the light piping this time.
I think it's either not there or it's been painted over. But they've gone without it.
It looks pretty funny though. He looks too heroic. He looks heroic there.
Like it almost doesn't fit at all, right?
Yeah, it's just odd. Like he just crawled out and just He's like, hey,
it also looks a little small too. I don't know if it's because of the shoulder armor.
It might be that,
I'm kind of loving it. He does look like a hero, which is a kind of a strange dilemma.
Pose. Yeah.
Like
he's on the top of the mountain. He's the king, and he's just like, "I'm here to save everybody."
Yeah.
And I come to wreck your day.
This is so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I don't care for it. And I love skeletons, but that head is on this body is not doing it.
Is that like
ain't
Skeleton
the neck's too
Warriors?
big for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Skeleton Warriors 2-pack, non-glow in the dark.
Yeah.
That's this one for sure. Skelkeles.
Skelkeles.
There you go.
Holy shit. That's
I get a bad case of Skelkeles if I eat.
no, it's funny. I don't Skelkeles. You got to.
I'll do a little hashtag.
Copyright that. Skelkeles.
You know, when you look at the close-up
I'm sorry, but that's hilarious.
I'm glad that you it's doing it to you, Bobby.
I'm tired.
I don't know if it was the paint apps that they did, but they got these weird lines on the Alcala head by the eyes and by the teeth.
Over here.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can see it on that one. Like I'm on the Mattel Creations website. When you look at the zoomed in close up ones, they got like these little extra lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like between the teeth?
Yeah. Between the teeth and like right around the eyes. It's weird.
Does it look good? Can you share it with us?
Yeah, hold on. Well, I'll have to see if I can stop it because it's like a constant rotating thing, but here we go.
Oh.
Should just put a bunch of strings in his mouth and call him Floss Man.
Floss Man.
Gotta floss. Yeah, I can't get it to stop, but see the weird.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Like right up here and then right in between the teeth. It almost looks like he's got braces. But you know, look at these messed up teeth as Demo Man here. You know, he must have needed the braces.
We should write a script so when they're talking to each other.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm noticing this though. He doesn't have the jewels in his eyes, not even in the close-up shot.
Yeah, they're just not there. I don't.
That's cool. I mean, I would love to have a version without the jewels in the eyes. We're gonna get a comic. That's awesome.
He's been in comic, like he was in one other comic. I think he was in one of the classics comics, just as a like 1-page background character. So this will be his first story, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Then you get the axle art for the front of the package.
The packaging.
And the actual packaging.
Are you all gonna fork over $20? I know Bobby's not going to, but Oz, Adam, you guys thinking about?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'll go with my Lords of Power display with the.
Yeah.
To me, he fits into that world, so I'll buy him.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling the pull. I'm feeling the pull. And I need a Skelkeles in my collection. That's really where we're at right now. We all need a Skelkeles.
I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it's fucking funny.
You know what makes me laugh is how tiny his eyes are in the Origins version.
Yeah, they didn't give him sort of the shading around the eyes.
Yeah.
I want to. It almost looks like they just scanned the classics one and maybe shrunk it down a little bit, and then
it certainly looks like that. Yeah,
it's pretty close.
But Mattel's never released this figure, Adam.
Oh right, yeah. Where would they have scanned it from?
Where would they have scanned it from?
I don't know. I must have dreamed it.
Just like they did for Leech, and they called up the 4 Horsemen, and they're like, "Hey guys, you still got that sculpt that you did for us a couple years back?"
Yeah.
I will say, letting us do that again.
I will say that the Masterverse Leech is amazing.
Yeah, it's a great figure.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam, because this is quite literally on everybody's financial tongue right now because it launches this weekend, right?
The 25th, I believe.
Oh, the 25th, so early next week.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking the 22nd, but yeah, the 25th. That's right.
Yeah.
It just looks, the 2 looks like an upside down 5. You know,
cheaper than I thought he'd be. $25 or $20. I thought he'd be more 25.
Well, especially with 3 different head sculpts, but they're all reused. It's not like they're the only thing that's new about this figure is the Demo Man head sculpt and that plastic cloak. And honestly, I'm not even sure that's new because that might be the same one that they used for that stealth He-Man that just came out. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it again.
His name is Skelkules.
Somebody in the chat, they mentioned they want him to be a separate character. That's how I think of him. Because to me he looks like he'd be an ally of Skeletor. So that's how I display mine.
Yeah, I never thought he was Skeletor or anything like that.
Yeah.
When I saw him the first time.
Yeah, he could work with Skeletor.
That's good. That's good, Alan. Yeah. Scarecrow's thug.
I think of him as like this ancient evil that was sitting in a cave having a nice snooze. And then Skeletor woke him up. Now he's all pissed.
Well, I think that, Bobby, you have a little something behind you there.
Yeah.
I think
if you cut off Skelkules' beard, he loses his power.
That's true. Well,
sorry.
Technically, he... All right.
That intro's longer than this.
What you got for us, Bobby?
What I got is what I have. I have the plank.
Yeah.
That's the base.
Noise.
That's the figure. And that's it.
Wait, can you put him up at the front, please? Again.
Just now, Madonna.
He's so cool. Yeah. I mean, she's so cool.
He is. It's not a she.
Look how serious Bobby got right there.
You got the hair.
Nice. That's so amazing.
And he does come with an alternate head in the way he's revealed in the original Dick Tracy comic strips. It's kind of like deformed a little bit, like kind of like almost like the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, do you have the other head available?
I do in the box. Hold on.
The only reason I'm asking to see is because I think I've seen an image of this before, and I just want to make sure.
I put it in our chat a while back when it came out with the figure, because I know John was getting one, so people questioned, well, why does he look like that? And I was like, well, it's from the actual original comics, not from the movie. Because in the movie they brought Breathless Mahoney and the Blake, they merged them together just for like the cinematic crap. But this is what he looks like.
Oh yeah! Wow, that's awesome.
It's like blurry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Look at that. It goes into focus every once in a while.
Move your hand in front of your face.
All right.
There you go. Oh man, that's good. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's very comic accurate. All his weapons has got the what do you want to call it? Scarf and all that stuff. And this is the gun that he does have in the comic strip. This little Magnum.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
You want to call it? Yeah. Yeah, he's
Beautiful.
all bundled up. He comes with this nice leather. It's actually like a leather jacket, leather coat.
Man.
And then underneath of it, he has a suit with a green tie on it. But yeah, he's awesome. These Mezco figures are impressive. I'll tell you that. They're worth the money, I think. Yeah. That's why I said, I retired from collecting, but these, I said, unless it's something special, and I think these are special because you don't get Dick Tracy at all too much anywhere.
Agreed.
Yeah, so.
Nobody's bringing the good Dickens. So,
well, I remember a while back when NECA put out a question, what would you like to see as a figure line? And I told them I would love to see the villains, comic accurate villains from Dick Tracy, and they never responded. But yeah,
well, I'm glad Mezco got the license for this because those Mezco figures are amazing.
I don't know if they're going to come out with any more or not. I'm pretty sure they probably will, since I mean they're pretty hot, I believe. So we'll see. I have some that are going to my favorites to like to see first, but we shall see.
Yeah.
I never get hopes up on high anymore on figure lines that I wish would go on forever and all that stuff. You could get them all, but I don't have that with this because there's so many there's so many characters that Dick Tracy has. It would be impossible to do.
Yeah. Well, so they've done Dick Tracy, they've done Prune Face, they've done the Blank
and Flat Top. Right.
All four of those are probably the ones that stand out the most to me as iconic characters. I mean, there's a ton of great villains from Dick Tracy, but Flat Top's like up here for me.
Yeah, he's one of the most popular.
Who would be like the next one if you could pick only one more? Who would you get?
Yeah.
If I picked only one more, I probably would go with the Brow. I would love to see the Brow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Brow.
That's awesome.
Well, I could go deep, into like some of the weirder ones, but the Brow or Skardol. Skardol is one of the first ones to look kind of weird. But yeah, because they didn't make them weird in the beginning. They just made them like regular characters, like Stoogeville and all them. They looked more normal. But once they got into the 40s, we started to get the grotesque looking characters. So, but Skardol was one of the first ones. He had this big forehead with a bunch of. He's cool looking.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Littleface would be cool too.
Yeah, Littleface.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah.
Bobby, do you have an Abe Sapien figure or Abe Sapien figures?
No, I don't. I never bought the Hellboy figures when they came out, except for the big giant one I got.
Yeah.
I wasn't collecting figures at the time anymore. That was when I was on my one of my breaks from buying toys.
Right.
So yeah, now I wish I would have because those damn things are expensive as hell. But yeah.
Well, so as an episode where we're asking questions of our chat and asking in the chat's asking questions of us, I think this was pretty damn successful. This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of fun.
Oz, did you want to take a moment and do your segment before we close up shop?
Nah, it's really not going to be that big. I don't think so, because I know we're getting at a 2.5 hour mark. Instead, I wanted to get back to Aaron's question here.
Oh.
So what all do you guys collect other than Motu? Now, I mean, Bobby was already just showing us a little bit of his. He's got quite a bit of it on display back there. Bobby, what else do you got?
Well, I do have like the vintage Black Star stuff. I have vintage Voltron. I have some vintage Tron. I have some vintage G.I. Joes. Not many. I have all of the vintage Star Wars figures. I have some modern stuff too, like the Origins and crap like that. But I got the new Dreadnoks. Classifieds. I don't. Trying to think in my head what I got. What else I have? I think that's about it. I used to have like tons of stuff, but I got rid of most of it. I had like all the old wrestlers, the LJN wrestlers. I actually had them on card. and but I sold them all. And but yeah, that's mostly what I have left. All the old vintage mask figures. I have all of those as well. Yeah, and the Dick Tracy Playmates and stuff. In those Serial Monster figures.
Yeah.
So I have a good amount of different things. It's not just Motu, but my biggest collection would be Motu stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest collection is Motu for sure, but I love the vintage Star Wars stuff. I will always just be sucked into that. It comes back in serious waves every once in a while. I just went through another bout of trying to find certain things from the vintage Star Wars line. But Aaron, it's funny. Aaron is asking that question, and Aaron's to blame for me now. I've entered into territory where I don't have to look for the Swamp Thing villains, the Kenner Swamp Thing villains, because he sent them to me. But but I have been entering a few Swamp Things on my watch list on eBay. So I'm currently looking at about 5 different glow-in-the-dark Swamp Things.
I was going to say, the glow-in-the-dark one was the best. He's got like the little spikes on him, you know.
He's cool. And also the first release one, which is the one with the hand that separates.
The hand that pops off and goes out.
Yeah.
That's the one of the ones that I had. Was the one that had the hand that goes out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Comes back. The other one I had, and I don't recommend getting, it's the one where like he can just kind of fall apart.
Oh yeah.
Like he's got the strings that go through him, but that's also the problem now too. Like typically when you find that one, even though he still looks kind of neat, but he doesn't hold together as well.
Yeah. So I get on these kicks, and usually what defines the kick is 1 or 2 weird characters that are just like who the heck came up with this, and I get really hooked. I mean, but as far as like ongoing collections go, for me it's mainly Masters and Star Wars. There are limits to what I can get, and that will always sort of keep me interested and looking for little things in there. Well, there are limits financially to the things I can get for Star Wars and Masters, but there are also vast IPs. So there's always something that we can come across. So yeah, thank you, Aaron. So that, I mean, but you all, I mean, I'm kind of with Bobby in that I've got a bunch of little things from here and there. I mean, no, I mean, that's not true, because Bobby's most of your collections, Bobby, are fairly complete, correct?
Yeah, everything's complete. Yeah, I don't get stuff unless it's complete. And I forgot I mentioned I'm a sucker for Planet of the Apes stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I got all the vintage Mego figures and all that stuff. So
yeah. I don't have any complete sets of anything, but my heart is deeply invested in certain characters, and I will always be a sucker for them.
It's the way to go sometimes.
Yeah. Like Bert and Ernie. I'm still riding my Bert and Ernie kick right now. Yeah. Good question, Aaron. Adam, Oz, how about you guys?
Adam, you go ahead and go.
So this is my recent thing that I'm into is the Frazetta Girls Frazetta figures. So we've got Dark Wolf and Tigra from Fire and Ice. So I've decided basically everything they do, I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Which is, for that they're pricey, but they don't do them that often. So it's hopefully it'll be okay.
Yeah, you're basically looking at one a year. So
yeah. So these, almost everything else I have is Masters, other than I've got like just a few Inhumanoids as well. I love
Inhumanoids. So good.
Yeah, I always love these guys.
Oh, so cool.
But other than that, it's just basically vintage masters, classics, and then my small Mark Taylor inspired Origins collection.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully that will grow. Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, that'd be
Castle
great.
Grayskull.
Calculus.
Yeah. Skelcules. Aaron asks, "Are you getting the NECA Sesame Street figs?" Yes, I am, Aaron. If I can, so we'll see. I'm gonna try. I desperately am
The
going to
count
try.
is awesome.
The Count for sure. Bert and Ernie for sure. Even the NECA Toonie characters versions of them. I Oscar the Grouch. Yes. All right. Oz, how about you?
Oh, well, I just got them set up here. We got Ghostbusters, we got Mystery Inc., Scooby-Doo Gang, got some of the vintage Scooby-Doo monsters right there. You've got Count Chocula hanging out over here too.
Nice.
I've got collecting Star Wars Black Series, but only the Mandalorian figures stuff.
Nice.
You know, not just from the series The Mandalorian, but Mandalorians, because I got a Boba fetish. I'm
Nice
dipping my
one.
toes slightly into Marvel Legends.
Your Boba you're dipping your toes into your Boba fetish? Is that what you said?
I'm elbow deep into the Boba.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
He's up to his chains.
Elbow deep. Got to keep him chained. He's got a jetpack. He can get away. But yeah, Marvel Legends. I've got like the Age of Apocalypse figures in Marvel Legends because that was like my favorite story arc of the X-Men. I've got I'm getting that Scarlet Spider whenever it eventually hits at Helidope Toys. I've had it pre-ordered since April. I really hope it comes soon. I've been waiting for it. So I got that, and then I got a couple other little small things here and there. But the next
I heard that you also collect Mythic Legions.
What? Oh yeah.
No, that's not true.
Oh man,
What's Mythic Legion?
How much time we got? You want to sit down here and let me talk about this? Actually,
my ass hurts. I gotta get up.
Yeah. So, I mean, just briefly, real quick, since we are hitting the Mythic Legions, I will go ahead and bring up the slideshow because it's not many slides.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Mythic Legions, and this November, I am finally going to Legions Con. I had to miss out last year. This year, I'm going. Got everything set and booked now. They're doing an exclusive Mythic Legions Armory experience, and these are all the Armory Knights. Basically what it is,
beautiful.
It's Build-A-Bear with a Mythic Legions Knight figure. You've got 4 different color styles. These are like just some pre-build looks, but you got 5 different head choices, 4 different colors. So they got a red, a green, you got a little gunmetal here, and then you got this very lilac kind of purple color.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, that purple color, apparently they did a prototype figure for the original Kickstarter that never came out, and now they're paying homage to that with this.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So that's going to be really fun. You get to pick your torso. You get 3 different styles of torso, all the different colorways. Now, it's kind of weird that the purple one, for the leather torso, it's just going to be brown. But, you know, it is what it is. You get to pick your arms and leg sets. So, and whatever color, like this style of legs always goes with this style of arms. You can't get this style of arm with this style of leg. They're going to be set like that. So you got 4 different types of legs, or 3 different styles of legs that you can choose from. They've got their armor, basically. So it's shoulder pauldrons, greaves, and a codpiece. But cool. You got your different styles here. Each and every one's going to come with the same weapons pack. You get your different belt styles. You get your great sword. You get a mace with 2 different head styles. You get a normal shield and then a long sword. And then you get what's a gag item. And so the gag items, all of these have come from Figure Obscura. The gourd here is a drinking gourd that came with Monkey King along with this peach. Then you've got a duck and a dog that were with Father Christmas. And then the Switch came with Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a unique experience to Legion's Con. And it's going to be really cool. They're going to be doing numbered tickets when everybody's waiting in the line in the morning to get into the convention. They're going to be passing out numbered tickets like you're at the deli counter. And then as you're going around throughout the day, they're going to be announcing like groups of numbers. So when you hear your number get called, then you go and you kind of do your Build-A-Pick. The tickets to get into the armory are going to be free. The figures are going to be $45 a piece, which is their new table cost. It's a little bit more than what their old table cost used to be per figure, but it's to match the retailers because now that they're doing more events, their retail partners, all the authorized retailers that they have when they go to these conventions, they can't sell Mythic Legions figures because if the 4 horsemen are there, everybody just goes to them because they're cheaper. Right. Like, their table price was much cheaper. So they've raised their table price and they've lowered the retailer's price. So now it's going to be one set price at conventions, which is going to be cool. And mind you, that doesn't mean it's going to be like $45 for an ogre, but whatever the retailers sell the ogre for, the 4 horsemen are going to be selling an ogre for. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Those
really
are great.
Excited to do that.
You're going to get all 4?
Oh God, no. That weekend is looking to be so expensive anyway with just the exclusives. I'm definitely going to get at least one because I want an Emerald Knight in my collection.
Yes.
So I'm going to build one specifically to be like, it's going to be my representation of John in my collection. And I know he wants one too himself. So.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to do that. And then I might make one more that's got some green and purple into it. Because like you can mix and match some of the colors, but like whatever color legs you're getting the same colored arms because they're sets.
Oh yeah. So, I see. Yeah, that's right.
But like you can get a torso of a different color. Or a
green torso, purple arms and legs, or lavender arms and legs.
Yeah, something like that.
I like that. Those are your colors.
Exactly, right? Green
yeah.
Purple. So I'm all for it then, and that's going to be fun. But yeah, Mythic Legions is definitely next to Masters of the Universe. That is my biggest collection.
Cool. Love it. Well, I guess that brings us to a close. What do you guys got coming up for yourselves? Anything exciting? For me,
Bobby's got something exciting next week.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, I created. I will talk about the shorts first. Since it's a new series, I got a new series of shorts that I started. It's a play on words. I just love it. I know.
I love it. I freaking love it though.
I created a character that it has to be done in your shorts are only done in a minute, right?
Yeah.
So they're either between 15 seconds to a minute long. So I created a character called Detective Bermuda. And he solves his cases in 1 minute. It's a comedy series. It's just a funny little thing that happens for a minute long. But I love it because his name's Bermuda, but it's a shorts series. So it's a play on words, Bermuda Shorts. So people can call it the Bermuda Shorts. So it's funny.
I love it.
I get a kick out of it. It's just a little funny, little stupid thing I'm doing. But next week, Wednesday, is the debut of case number 4. For Decker Northcutt. It'll be 9 episodes long, this one. It was originally going to be 8, but as I'm writing it, I can't finish it in 8. I didn't want to rush the ending, so I
don't rush that ending.
Yeah,
don't Game of Thrones it.
No. Like I said, I make them between 8 and 10 episodes.
Yeah.
The last 2 were 8, This one's going to be 9.
Yeah.
But I got new characters coming in. It's going to be a little bit more mystery to this one and a little spooky. So,
All right.
I'm down
yeah.
for it.
But it's it'll start Wednesday, next week, Wednesday.
That's great. Love it. Love it. I just have this art show coming up. I'm working hard getting that stuff's ready and excited about that. That's it for me. And then I don't know. I feel like I'm having fun on my channel, like doing little excursions and looking at toys and things.
Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, I've just been having fun with the channel. No longer making a place that leaves a lot of time for me to consider doing some other things with the channel. So I've been having a blast. Yeah.
Good.
Adam, how about you?
Working on a video, like a quick facts video about Castle Grayskull.
Oh.
And then I'll probably do an article about stilt stalkers and mega laser. Yeah, the little accessories.
Yep.
That's great. I can't wait for the Grayskull one.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. I on a side note, don't forget, people, on October 3rd, we're going to be doing a frenzy where I'll be coming in briefly live for a bit from the art show. So October, we're going to have 2 frenzies. So don't forget that, folks. And that means that Adam has hinted already at his Faker battle ram report. So you can look forward to that occurring either next episode or the following. So coming right up, Adam. I know people love your battle ram reports. So.
Yes, they do.
Oz, you look a little fuzzy up there.
Yeah, can you hear us, Oz?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, you're a little blurry.
Like you're frozen.
You know what's going on? I'm actually becoming pixelated so I can become a Bigfoot. Anytime somebody tries to take a picture of me from now on, I'm going to be all blurry.
One of these days, someone's going to capture a Bigfoot and he's going to be pixelated up close.
That's what it's going to be. That's why we can't get a clear picture of him. He's actually just pixelated.
He has the ability, the superpower to pixelate everything around him.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So yeah, tomorrow night you guys can catch me on Let's Go Off-World. I'll be joining those guys for our version of O-Con. So essentially every year leading up to Legion's Con, they kind of do this whole event. They have G-Con on Friday nights. And they kind of launch and announce their new wave of figures that go up for pre-order that night.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it as the special live event, and they call it G-Con. So we are doing our own version of that tomorrow night. You can catch Joe Gonzalez with us, as well as Curtis Ackerman. Most of the guys from the off week Let's Go Off-Worlds, the 2.0 cast, as it's called. So I'll be hanging out there tomorrow night. And of course, every Saturday night we'll be hanging out at the clubhouse, and you catch me and the gaggle of usual co-hosts and guests coming on and just talking about crap from the week. This week, we talked about Tuesday. Ed invited some of us on to Toy Elite Takeover on Tuesday. We were talking about doing a coffee in the morning, a clubhouse cafe again.
Yeah.
But I've actually got Connor swinging in this Saturday. So I will not be doing Clubhouse Cafe this week. We're going to hold it off until the following week. But that's our wake up in the morning show where we just, sometimes we go live, sometimes we don't, but it's just all of us hanging out and having coffee together because, you know, it's nice to get together with friends and just have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Absolutely.
So that's basically what we got going on. And Also, coming up for the month of October, you're not going